Daddies. Daddies.
Welcome back to another week with Death Metal Daddies. My name is Jeff,
I'm Silas.
and we got some new stuff to talk about. First, I think Silas over here has a some news to break.
Yep. I got a badass peeling flesh shirt. If you could see this, you should look. There's their totally legible logo. And you scroll up, you got the sick Grim Reaper with the gat.
Oh, shoot to
Shoot to
kill.
kill, baby. Hell yeah. Super sick. I saw they had some band troubles or some shit on a tour. And so they did one of those dealies where they're like, "Hey people, if you could help out and help us get this fixed, we launched this shirt, to raise some funds and get us back home, or something to that effect." So yeah, click the link, and this was the shirt. I was like, boom, perfect excuse to buy a peeling flesh shirt. Absolutely, I'll help those dudes out, man. So
Hell yeah, gotta
pretty
support the
pumped about
guys.
it, man. Yeah,
Hell yeah,
I haven't bought a band shirt in forever.
yeah, yeah. It's been a minute for me too, except for just the concert, but actually just ordering for online. It's been a minute.
Yeah, yeah. So super stoked on that, dude. I didn't get their vinyl, and I kind of regret that. I mean, I could probably still get it. I'm sure they still got vinyls out there from the last release, G Code or whatever. So I think
Yeah.
I'm still gonna have to get that because damn, I love that album, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, been listening to the past couple days on and off because it still does hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How's your week been, man?
Pretty good, dude. It's looking up. We got taxes back, so that was nice. We're really just trying to get our crush debt game down and take out some of those, man. Every little bit helps. I've started like doing additional amounts on minimum payments instead of just paying minimums, because I just, once you look at it from like a distance and how many years it takes to like kill loans, it's just like ungodly amounts that you're pouring into interest. So,
Yeah.
knocking that principal down by doing extra on, your minimum payment is like, it makes such a big difference. Like I was literally calculating it. If I do $100 extra on a mortgage, um, a year is $1,200. So if I could do that for a decade, that's 10, that's 10 grand.
Mm-hmm.
So if I could do an extra 200 for 10 years, that's an extra 20,000 you just knocked off your mortgage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And it's gonna knock
it's
down
just
that
crazy.
how long the loan is gonna last because of the interest,
Yeah.
because that's calculated in
Yeah.
that 30-year mortgage.
Right. Yeah, true. So
So
yeah,
yeah,
man.
you might be knocking off like the 20,000, but you're also, I don't know, saving probably about 40,000 at the end of it because of the interest and all that.
Yeah, no kidding. So I mean, that's just kind of, looking forward, getting excited about that. I mean, I guess that comes with age. Excited about knocking away debts. But it's just a light at the end of the tunnel more than anything. But yeah, so been doing that, kind of trying to figure out budgets and shit. Let's see, got the part for my brake in, so I got the brakes all together, got the tires on, feeling awesome about that. But now I have to bleed the brakes because I didn't do that when the tires were off. I thought I did, but then I started the truck, and I guess that actuates the brake fluid. It sends the pressure to the brakes or whatever. So once I once I cranked it over, I pressed down that brake and it just almost went all the way. So I was like, ah, shit, that's it's too much air in the line. So I need to bleed the brakes to get that pressure of just the fluid in there. So, or at least I think that's how it works, anyways. That's how the brother-in-law explained it to me. So, um, but yeah, man, excited about that. Um, let's see what else. Doing my courses. Man, it's been stressful. That's fucking, it's a lot of shit all at once, so it's just kind of hectic. But aside from that, man, doing pretty good.
That's
Not
good.
doing too bad. Um, I was just out at the store and I went ahead and picked up everything to do like an oil change on my truck once it gets back from the cosmetic shop to get all that work done. But I forgot to ask you, do you plan on doing your own oil changes now with your truck?
Yeah, and I still do need to because I don't know when the last time the previous guy did it, so I just need to start from scratch and on that so I can keep better track of it. Because
Yeah.
it's going to be cost way less just to do it on my own.
Oh yeah, man. And that was like a big motivating factor for me because last time we sent Lexus car to the Lloyd Belt dealership, which is where we like used to always get them. But like the last run, it was like $80. It's like, what the
Hmm.
fuck? That's crazy. Like I
Yeah.
remember seeing the flyer outside of that dealership, driving by it for like a 25 or a 29.99 oil change, $30. It's like, damn, that's a steal. So and to go from that to $80 in a span of, I mean, it's probably 5 years, I want to say. So when they kind of quit doing that stuff. So
Well, I don't even understand why those prices would be going up so much because oil itself hasn't gone up that much. Because I can still buy a 5 gallon for like $30 maybe. And oil
yeah,
filters, what, anywhere from $5 to $10 for a regular one.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it went up slightly with like the pandemic and shit, but I also know that we're involved in a lot of trade with other countries and stuff as far as oil goes. So, I know that we have our own, but to my understanding, it seems like we almost use outside sources because of
Yeah.
like all the trading and stuff. I don't know. I remember hearing something like that, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know.
Yeah, because I know
It's a
we
big
get oil
politic
from
topic too.
yeah, I know we get oil from Canada and also Russia and obviously Saudi Arabia.
Hmm.
But I think it's also all dependent on where you're located in America, probably where you're getting yours from. Kind of different
Yeah,
companies get it from different places, and wherever you're at, that company is supplying it. So different parts of the country are experiencing different price surges, probably.
yeah.
But I know,
I mean,
like
I've
even
heard
just
we have large reserves, don't we?
I think technically Alaska does, but it's also one of those things getting it down from there to here. But it's also I think
Oh,
it's also always at risk because especially like Alaska, because it is like a big nature kind of thing. You always run that risk of potential
right.
spillover and damage to that area. So it's one of those
Yeah,
things.
I always wonder like what do they know what would happen if we just depleted it all? Like, I mean, does the world dry up like
I
what
don't know.
happens? I mean,
I remember that used to be the biggest fear in like the 2000s, like because it was always talk about like we're past our peak oil, like the amount that the Earth has had. There's the peak amount that we could get, and we are past that. So we're going to start going less and less because that's the thing. Like it took what millions of years for this oil to be created underneath the surface. So
yeah.
at some point we're going to be out. I know that they're doing fracking and stuff, which is kind of a way to kind of make it, but from what I understand, that's also another environmental issue because that can cause tectonic plate issues to where it can actually cause more earthquakes and stuff
Mm,
like that. So
yeah, it
one
makes
of those
sense.
things,
I mean,
pick
you're
your
drilling
battles.
into these fucking craters all the time. How do you
Hmm.
expect nothing to happen?
Hmm.
It's crazy. It's kind of crazy to think that something wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Yeah, environmentally, that's definitely an issue. But like, what I hate is the attachment to the CO2 emissions to our input on the warming and all that shit. But what they fail to mention is that we've also been blasting nuclear bombs into deserts starting around mid 1900s. So it's like, do they take that into account when they think about a warming trend? Like, because it's kind of around the same time too, but apparently our cars are far too more damaging than that. But
Yeah.
that's also military, and you know that we would never admit that that's problematic. But I feel like you never hear about it. You know what I mean?
Well, I know there's certain areas where they did do that testing that you're not allowed to go kind of near, like kind of like in that where was it at? Where they did the Manhattan Project, like you're not allowed to go there.
Like Nevada, I think, right?
Yeah, and then also I want to say there's an island, one of the Hawaiian islands you're not allowed to go to because of it as well, because they did testing there. And then like the Bikini
Hmm.
Atoll, where they did testing, stuff like that, you're not allowed to technically go there. I don't know how much actually nuke testing they do anymore. I know they did a lot. I don't know if any testing, but I know we have a lot of nuclear plants, which are supposed to be like the cleanest.
Hmm.
However, when something goes awry, it can cause a huge issue like Chernobyl, 3 Mile Island, and stuff like
Yeah.
that, to where those places are no longer inhabitable. Like Chernobyl, still not allowed to go within like so many miles of it, and so on
Yeah, it
and
just
so
ruins
forth.
an area for like 50 years, isn't it?
I think it's longer than that because Chernobyl, it's you can still pick up the
Like,
readings and
I guess that's the thing is we don't even really know. You know, I feel like we've made this thing and we don't even know the complications of it. That's what's
Mhm.
crazy. It's like we were so arrogant that we just developed a Earth killer, you know, and then just started making a lot of them. It's like that's kind of weird. I don't know. It, yeah,
Yeah, like even
not to
like
go
the
down rabbit
Chernobyl.
holes, but
Well, even with Chernobyl, I know if you actually like somewhere sneak in there, you could probably get bit by a spider there, and that's like a radio. And it's not you're not going to turn into like Spider-Man or anything, but you'll get infected with like the radiation or the nuclear waste that's in
damn.
the atmosphere over there. And that's
Yeah,
also
that's a
what.
total origin story.
But even
Yeah.
like pretty much any animal that goes in there, they have to kill it. Like when Chernobyl event originally happened, they sent in the military to go in and kill all the dogs and cats because they could like wander
Damn.
off and spread that
Oh, right.
radiation and stuff.
Yeah, fucking probably have all kinds of genetic mutations and shit from that. I'm
Hmm.
sure. That's nuts. Yeah. Makes sense though. Yeah, I heard they had
Yeah.
these like crazy ass wolves, or maybe I've seen it in like a horror movie or something. I don't know. The idea is pretty sweet though.
You ever seen that
Like
the
ginormous
HBO?
mutated wolves.
You ever seen the HBO
Uh-uh.
miniseries Chernobyl?
Mm-mm.
I
No, is
recommend
it pretty
that.
good?
Oh, I loved it. Well, pretty much the first half. The other half is more of like the political stuff that went happened afterwards. But the first half was really good because the first two episodes is actually like the meltdown, all the city's reaction. Then it's all the aftermath. The soldiers going in to kill the dogs. Them trying to slow down the
Damn.
process. Then the other half is like
So it stays
uh,
pretty historically accurate then.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't remember if it was a show or if it was because I got really into it and started doing a lot of research into it. So I don't know if it was part of the show or if it was other YouTube videos, but there's actual survivors talking about it and stuff who were involved in it and all that.
Oh wow. Damn. That's crazy, man. It's crazy to think that there's people still alive that were there when the shit happened.
Well, it's more of like the people who went in afterwards, but also the scientists and the political people involved because this is
Mm,
also during the Soviet Union, and they were all about like not wanting to
right.
look bad at all. So it was all about keeping a lid on it and even
Hush
making sure
hush.
their own people didn't even know about it and stuff like that. So there's a
Damn.
lot of like borderline censorship of its own people is like the rest of the show after all the cleanup and stuff. It's pretty good. I
Hmm.
recommend it.
I'll have to check that out. You said that's HBO?
Yeah, it's on HBO.
Okay, so probably on Max or something.
Hmm.
Nice. I think that's the one app I don't have. I'm gonna have to get it though, man. They have a lot of good shit on there.
Oh yeah, you can watch Game of Thrones whenever you want. House of
Yeah.
the Dragon,
Yeah,
Oz.
it's been a minute. I haven't revisited Game of Thrones in a long time. I love that
Hmm.
show though.
You ever watched
Damn.
Oz?
No, haven't watched Oz.
That's
Is
the
that like
prison
Wizard of
show.
Oz?
No,
No.
it's a prison, and it's they're in a section called Emerald City. Or no, the prison's called like Osmond or Oswald or something. They just call it Oz, and they just roll with it. Like the cell block it's all based on is called Emerald City, but it's
Huh.
pretty much just prison based. It's all prison.
Oh,
It's pretty
really?
good.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, my week was pretty good. We
Sorry, yeah, kind of got off on a tangent there, huh?
yeah, you're good. It was fun. I like talking about Chernobyl.
Radiation.
Anytime I
Oh
could bring
yeah,
up Chernobyl, and because also that was when I was listening to cytotoxin, so I was getting all into like
yeah.
this nuclear stuff. That's when I
Well,
found out
that's
about the
where the
demon core.
yeah they actually came out of that accident. I think
Hmm.
those are the guys remaining from the incident. So
Yeah.
they're just traveling the world to scream about it in front of people now.
Also, speaking of that, because down when I went down that radiation rabbit hole, look up the demon core. That's a part
Demon
of.
core.
It's not technically part of you, like the Chernobyl thing, but it's a radiation thing that ended up killing, I think, 2 or 3 people
Oh shit.
because of nuclear or radioactive exposure and stuff. That's an interesting one rabbit hole to get into as well. But yeah,
Huh.
uh, my week, we just not a lot happened. Just kids had basketball games, so that was fun. Jensen had his first.
That's cool.
Which it was one of those things. It was gonna be hard. It was hard to tell how he's gonna take it because during practice he would get sad because he tried to shoot it, but he couldn't get near it. He had some teammates who were getting it, so he wanted to stop. So that was hard to see. So it's kind of
Yeah,
nervous.
that sucks.
Yeah, nervous leading up to the game, but he ended up getting in on defense. Got a couple turnovers against the other team. So that was good to see. He got excited about that.
Nice.
So that was nice.
That's
Annie's was a
cool.
little rougher.
Yeah.
She is on an all girl team and she played an all boys team who were a grade above all of
What?
them.
Didn't that just get banned in the United States or something?
No, it's so you can have boys and girls on this. No, it's
Yeah.
not
No.
like that. It's literally just like a co-ed league, but I'm pretty sure like our team was just all girls. Theirs was all boys. I'm pretty sure they were all second graders. Ours were all first graders. So it was hard. It was they still did good.
Did you have the urge to be that guy?
What guy?
Fucking come on, get in there, damn it!
I did want to
Just
be like, get on them.
yeah,
Because they were
just get
playing like
into it.
the boys were playing like strong defense, like getting right on them, getting over this. And then the girls were on defense in there.
See, that's when the girls should have taken advantage of it and like fucking kneed their or like elbowed their balls or whatever when they're like dribbling. You know, I feel like that's a foul you could get away with so easily.
Well, they actually didn't do too bad. They got a lot of turnovers, and there was a lot of times where they did kind of hold them to it. I was a little surprised about just some first
Yeah,
graders actually like doing a good job of like creating plays on the spot to like prevent them from scoring and stuff. So that was fun to see. Yeah, other than that,
yeah,
not a whole lot. Just oh, birthday week. Last week, just got a cake. Hung out with the family. Been playing a lot of basketball. Yeah.
nice. You're 34 now.
Yep. 34.
That's awesome. Should we sing?
I'd prefer you didn't.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
happy birthday, Jeff. You old
Thank you.
bastard.
Oh, did I tell you that I was trying to get my I think I said it last week where I was about to get my vehicle inspected, but my door handle broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the day before my birthday. So
Would
now I have to
that
wait till my next day off to do all that.
oh, damn. Wow. Damn. So, wait, did we podcast on your birthday?
No, my birthday was Thursday.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Damn. So, would that handle keep you from it passing inspection, I guess?
I'm not sure, but
Or
I
could
would
you rig
almost
up something?
100% assume it would because my thinking is
Yeah.
it would be a safety thing to where like you can't get out of the car unless you roll down the window and open from the outside. I can't see them being
Right.
like, yeah, that's fine, whatever kind of thing. So
Yeah. Maybe if you took it a little far ways to that guy out of town or something, that
there
just
are a
has like
couple
that
guys
shop.
I've heard, but from what I understand, people from higher ups have been doing spot checks and taking people's licenses. So people have been a little more strict.
Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah, that would suck. Well,
Yeah,
hell yeah, man.
yeah. On that, nothing, not a lot going on. Yeah. Oh, my birthday. As soon as I got home, pulled in the driveway, got in my car. They all, all the kids, wife, all silly stringed me. So
Oh,
had a huge old
nice.
mess. Uh,
How
wife got
is
me.
that stuff really hard to pick up? I've always wondered.
Not
Or
really,
does it
just gets
actually pick up
everywhere.
pretty easy?
It picks up pretty easy.
Yeah.
Like as long as it's still wet, you can kind of bundle it all together.
Hmm.
It's
So
just
does it
that it
like
was
dry
everywhere.
out? Can it
It
or
will
something?
eventually dry out after like a day.
Huh. Oh, okay.
I would think of
Yeah, I
it
don't
kind
think
of
I've
like
ever messed with that stuff.
I think of it kind of like those like those like sticky rubber hands that you can like throw on the glass that has
Oh yeah.
string. Imagine that, but you just kind of leave it out in the sun and it would dry up kind of thing.
Okay. Huh. Nice.
Yeah, that's all I got. Anything else you got for past week?
Um, no, I don't think so, man.
I got you. Well, we can move on to new.
What are you guys listening to?
Weekly playlist.
Weekly playlist.
Weekly playlist. Weekly.
Weekly playlist. Weekly playlist. Weekly
What are you
playlist.
listening to?
I don't know what that's from, but yeah, yeah, it is pretty funny. It's like a chick, isn't it? What are
I
you
think
listening
so.
to? Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So this week's playlist. So as soon as I woke up Friday morning, I couldn't find anything album wise that I wanted to put on the release playlist. I think Architects came out with a new album, but I don't really
Mm,
didn't really feel like I've stopped caring about them years ago, and I felt like I don't know. I think feel like you're probably in the same boat, or if you were ever even into
yeah,
Architects.
yeah. I mean, I think they may have been a band that I scoped here and there, maybe some songs, but yeah, I'm not an avid Architects listener by any means, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I used
But
to like their old stuff, but I think the past five albums I've very meh.
yeah.
So with this week's playlist, I decided to just go on the Avant Void, which I think is the one that Sean recommended for finding some
Hmm.
underground stuff. And so that's what this playlist is all about this week. It's all the underground stuff this week. Never heard of any of these bands. Some of these is their debut albums. So showing a little love to the underground smaller bands. I
Oh yeah.
actually enjoyed some of this. Some of this was some weird genres that I've actually kind of been delving a little bit more into recently. So let's just go ahead and dive in. We got
Let's
a lot of
dive.
death metal, obviously, but we also got some stoner doomish stuff, and an instrumental. Was there anything that stuck out to you on this week's playlist?
I didn't listen to a lot of this, not gonna lie. But what I did, I liked. I checked out that Metaphobic. That
Hmm.
album was really good. Just like a solid death, pretty much through and through. But super heavy, man. Really rad. I like that one. I don't think I want to say Weeping Kin maybe I listened to and thought that was pretty cool. Um, and that was it, man. Yeah. So I didn't. I really didn't catch a lot of this. I was kind of more on the Dying Fetus train, trying to get that in.
I got you. Yeah. Metaphobic, their new album, Deranged Excruciations. I really enjoyed this. It almost makes me think of like if you took Vomit the Soul's sound but made it not
Mm,
technical, more of just like an old school death metal, but still that modern punchiness that Vomit the Soul has.
yeah,
Even a
for
little bit of
sure.
a deicide vibe, a little bit in there. Very enjoyable. Really like especially the intro to Mental Deconstruction had that little kind of evil, sinister beginning, kind of more open. But yeah, very heavy, very awesome. And that's a new album by Metaphobic Deranged Excruciations. Um, we also had Herald of the Primal Forces by Hound of Zeus. I didn't check this one out too much, but from what I heard, it wasn't too bad. Kind of a it's death metal, obviously, a little bit of almost like a tinge of black metal, a little bit of doominess. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't something that stuck with me. Um, the big ones for me, though, I'm going to bring up is going to be something that stuck out was Havu Krunu. I guess that's how you pronounce this band. And their
Okay.
new album, Tavastland. This is like a I think Norwegian black metal, but it's doesn't sound like the old stuff. It sounds like more like newer stuff. All borderline melodic, a little bit of a folky feel, which has been kind of coming up more on my new releases. But I actually enjoy this, even though I don't understand anything they're saying. But it's enjoyable, very fun, and I recommend if you want dip your toes into that style of music, I recommend Havu Krunu and their new album Tavaslan. Um,
Exactly right.
exactly.
You
We
nailed it.
also have a the debut album by the band called Bronco with their new album, debut album, Bronco.
You were on the
This
Bronco train. Are you like searching Spotify for Bronco related
no, that's
listening
literally
material?
it was literally just on the Advent Void. It's like, although I did see the names, like I got to put it on there, but but
That's funny.
this was pretty enjoyable because, like I said, I was already kind of listening to genres kind of close to this. Like I've been listening to a little bit of Mono Lord, High on Fire, and Sleep. So Stoner Doom kind of has been coming up more recently for me. Um,
Nice.
and Bronco does fit that vibe. It's very Stoner Doom, kind of a Black Sabbath you worship. The only thing that threw me off though is kind of typically with that genre, it's usually like specific vocals. I think
Hmm.
of like Mono Lord, where it's usually always clean vocals. Like Mono Lord kind of does a ha na na ha, na, over the riffs, which I like. I mean I don't love the vocals, but I think it fits the vibe.
Yeah.
Lets the heaviness come from the riff, which I feel like opens it up more. Bronco is the only one I've heard who plays this style, but does like a actual scream vocals, which is
Oh,
nice.
nice.
It's a nice kind of adds a little bit more evil to this. I do think it does pull away from because like I said with Monolord, the super soft, clean vocals makes those hard riffs hit even more. So I do think the screen vocals kind of pull away from the heaviness of the riffs, but I still do enjoy this release. And I also want to highlight they have a Reba McEntire cover on here with The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia.
What the
This
hell?
was this was a
That is hilarious.
fun check this out. This is a pretty much a brand new band, I think from South Carolina. Debut album Bronco. Check it out.
That is so ridiculous. Is it like in the similar style, like or like pace of
It's
Reva's, or
it's kind of like everything's kind of still the same. It's just it's like
wow?
if you took that song and ran it through Bronco's sound filter, like that's still him screaming, the still heavy stoner doom guitars and drums, but it's still like
Nice.
obviously that song. Because I was
It's
playing it and
ridiculous.
just kind of doing something else, and then all of a sudden I hear that was the night that they hung an innocent man.
Wow, that's awesome. Hell yeah, I definitely got to check that out for that
Uh,
then. Man,
there's
that cracks
also
me up.
this I don't know if there's an EP or what this is, what you would want to consider it, but there's a new release called Celestial Procession by this band called Void Revenant. And I think this is
Hmm.
kind of up your alley. This is kind of a progressive, I'd say more techish death metal, very big sound, very
What's this one?
awesome.
What's this one
Void
called?
Revenant.
Oh, oh, okay, I see.
Uh, top track for me was the second one, Abomination. awesome riffs, very techy, but still has a very big sound to where the techiness doesn't make you just focus on techiness. Still kind of creates a big old atmosphere. Uh,
That's cool.
Fun listen. And that is Void Revenant with Celestial Procession.
Badass artwork too. It's like a
Oh, yeah.
galaxy, like ripping from another one or some shit.
And I want to say they
Pretty
are a
tight.
pretty newer and small band. I want to say this is the one that only had like 100 monthly listeners. So
Okay. Yeah, I
throw
think I
some
just seen
support
they
to
got a
these
couple.
guys.
Yeah, that's badass, man. Dude, that
Uh,
Bronco cover is sick too. That's
yeah.
badass. That cover makes me want to buy merch. To be honest, that looks
I
so
actually
sick.
tried to look for it. They
Like,
don't have any besides vinyl.
really?
Hmm.
Damn, Bronco, get some merch, man. Yeah, because like I love that you can tell they kind of got the Stoner Doom from the name, the logo,
Hmm.
but then the artwork gives you the metal side of it,
Hmm.
and like the
Yeah.
brutal shit. That is so nasty looking, man.
Hmm.
Super sick. It's like a ram skull horns with like a crazy ass zombie face skull thing in a just eerie position. That's awesome,
Yeah.
man.
And I do think
Oh, yeah.
that does fit their sound perfectly because, like you said, it has that whole stoner doom, which is pretty much the entire band. But then the vocals comes in, and just the vibe of his presence is pretty much the rest of the picture. It's very death metal meets stoner doom, not to the
Nice.
extent of like Primitive Man, but more of just like stoner doom, literally, but just screen vocals, deathy vocals. Um,
Sweet. That's awesome.
the other ones I didn't listen to too much. Did listen to Weeping Kin a little bit. I'm having a hard time kind of remembering. Were they a little doomish as well? I want to say kind of like a death doom.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like a droney doom.
Yeah, and that's their new album, Epoch of Mourning. Okay, yeah, listening to this, yeah, this is what I would typically hear from like these doom bands, more of like the nothing
Mm-hmm.
against those kind of
Right,
vocals.
yeah.
Do think it fits the vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
Then Active Impalement with their new album Profane Altar. This is more of just kind of a straightforward modern death metal. It was good. It just wasn't anything that would kind of stuck out to me. And then finally, You Infinite with their self-titled album called You Infinite. This is an instrumental band. Apparently, this is a side project for the band called This Will Destroy You.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this gave me very much Explosions in the Sky vibes. Because it
Oh,
is like
nice.
instrumental and it has kind of that more prettier style that Explosions in the Sky kind of has. So it gives
Oh,
me a
yeah.
lot of that vibe. Yeah, that is our new release playlist. Um, any
Man,
other
I
new
remember
releases?
like having um yeah, I actually well, before I mentioned mine, I just had a thought that I had to comment on. I remember having explosions in the sky like on a like uh this like sleep playlist that would just I used to kind of like just play and like go to sleep, you know. I don't know, it's laughable now because I haven't done that in so long, and so like I think about it, it's like kind of weird, but I don't know, did you ever do that?
Not with Explosions in the Sky, but I did have a thing, two songs I would play back to back and it would help me go to sleep no matter what. And it was I would play Abigail Williams. It's the first song off the Becoming album. I forget what it's called.
Oh, okay.
I would play
Yeah, it's
that.
kind of like yeah, or wait, is that a softer one? Something ascension sickness or something?
Is that the
I
second
don't
one?
know.
Is
I
that the
know that
first one or second one?
that might be the second one.
I
I don't
forget what it's
remember.
called.
I don't,
But I would play that, and then immediately after, I would play Dream House by Deaf Heaven because they're
oh,
similar in like the whole like black metal strumming tremolo chords, and it was just something
yeah.
about the harshness of like there would be droniness with Abigail Williams, but it was harsher, and then the switch to Deaf Heaven, which would do the same thing but softer. Something about that would relax me, and it would cause me to go to sleep. So I would
Wow.
always do that if I needed to go to sleep.
That's crazy. I never listened to metal. I don't think I could ever fall asleep like in bed listening to metal. That kind of seems crazy. But I would have like, I think Deftones is the heaviest that it got in those terms. Um, but like Explosions in the Sky, I remember being on there. I want to say what else? What's some other ones? Oh, that Giles Corey. You remember that
Oh
depressing
yeah.
ass music?
Hmm.
Nothing. I had that on there for a minute, but I remember the Explosions in the Sky. This was way back, like in my first apartment in Elton, but I I would always like kind of wake up just feeling sad. And then like after listening to this playlist a while, I was like, it's pretty much like a sad, depressing playlist. Like they all sound like really sad songs. It's like I don't know, it's just something so funny about it to me now. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't done that in a long time. But I remember actually doing it frequently. And there was this one I don't know if it was This Will Destroy You. They were on there too. But they had some crazy ass songs that just sounded really dark. Like there's one where it sounds like people are just kind of arguing in a foreign language, and there's just like street traffic you can hear, and fucking, it's like, what the fuck is this? I would like I would have the music so loud sometimes, and then that would pop up, and it would literally wake me up. I'm like, I just wake up stressed out. Like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, it's a stupid playlist. So funny though. But yeah, I don't know. Haven't done that in a minute.
Yeah,
Anyways, random thought.
I remember when we lived together, you used to listen to that Nothing album a lot.
Yeah,
Which
I
always
went
made
through
me
a
worried. Like, is he
I went through a
okay? Oh,
depressed
he's playing
phase
that
there
Nothing
too.
album again.
Yeah. The Nothing album's getting louder. It's louder tonight.
I should probably check on him.
behind the behind the music, you just hear, "You okay in there, buddy?" "Yeah, I'm fine." That's funny. That's hilarious. That was a badass album, though, man. That really
Yeah,
is still a great album.
it is still good, and even their other stuff is still pretty good. But they are super like, I don't know. It sounds happy, but at the same time, the more you listen to it, you realize it's very depressing and just
Yeah, just like,
nihilistic.
damn. Yeah, it's almost like it gets sadder with every listen. It's like, damn, like that song Bent Nail. Like I love how it sounds so poppy and upbeat, but then you read the lyrics and you kind of hear him singing along, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like he's referring to himself. He's the bent nail. It's like, oh geez. So, and I think you actually pointed out the meaning to it, the meaning of it to me initially. Because I was like, bent nail. What the fuck's a bent nail? And you were like, useless. I was like, oh, geez, or worthless, or something like that. I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy. But yeah. Anyways, so before I had that random ass thought, you had asked me any more new releases. The only one I wanted to highlight was the one I sent you. This was like, I think, right after last week's episode. So, but it was the Disfiguring the Goddess music video drop, Ghostwriter. Did you listen to that?
I don't think I did. Did you send it to me?
Yeah, it was. I think it was after last week's episode, so maybe like Wednesday or something. But dude, it starts off. The beginning really threw me off because it sounds like a 2000s like pop song with like this ridiculous guitar, but then it just fades out and it just fades right into this sick slam shit and his ridiculous vocals. And he's like, the music video is shot like they're in like downtown or some shit, so it's just, and he's like in a big fur coat. I just love how ridiculous he is, dude. But it's actually a badass tune, so that's why I had to bring it up. Disfiguring the Goddess, Ghost Rider, Rider, all one word. But I think it's a new song, so because it says release TBA, so that tells me it's not a song that's already out now. But so I thought that was cool, and that's exciting. I feel like I'm always just excited to see that dude release some more shit.
Yeah. Does he do the big chocolate thing anymore? Or is he just purely disfiguring the
I
goddess now?
I don't know. He's kind of had different personas. Like Argon is one that he's always
Hmm.
went with too, and that's his name on YouTube. And it's still to this day his name on YouTube, or like his account or whatever. And he's had that like ever since he was young, like starting to go viral and shit. So I don't know. But yeah, I remember. I think Big Chocolate was his DJ phase. So I think he got really big into doing DJing shit too, and like semi rave but
Yeah.
now it seems like he's almost full blown just slam. So,
Yeah. Yeah, because
and
that's how
his
I
weird
found
ass
out about him.
electronics and stuff.
Because he played at Warped Tour with
As
Big
Big
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Damn,
And
that's cool.
he was pretty good. That was the first time I ever saw a DJ live, and it was awesome. So I started I
Wow.
downloaded his EP. I think it was the I'm Shot EP. It's the only one I actually like. It's pretty good. Great songs. I can't find it.
Hell
I don't
yeah.
think it's on Spotify anymore. But if you want to listen to it, you gotta go to YouTube. But that was
Yeah.
great. Then also, I know he did a borderline deathcore dubstep mashup with him and Mitch Lucker. I forget
Oh,
what
wow. Oh,
the
yeah, I
commissioner.
remember that. Yeah, that's right. Dude, I totally forgot about that. Damn, that's been forever. That was early 2000s, wasn't it? Or no,
I think
I
so.
guess around
Well, like
2010
yeah,
or so, maybe.
yeah,
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Wow. Man, that's awesome you got to see him live though. That's
yeah.
probably because
He's
I don't know if he's doing that anymore.
yeah. I know he did it for a while, and I feel like he blew up more after YouTube. But then the whole like dubstep wave died out. And I
Yeah.
think that's kind of, and people, I remember even during the Big Chocolate era, everyone was talking about bring back Disfiguring the Goddess and stuff like that. So he eventually did, and I guess Big Chocolate, I don't really see him doing anything with it anymore, which I don't really mind. I liked that one EP. Everything else was kind of meh.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Disfiguring Goddess is
Well,
kind of better.
yeah, it is. But I was going to say, even with Disfiguring the Goddess, it's hit and miss for me. But I also feel like I'm hearing stuff that I may not be ready to take in yet. It's almost like one of those releases that's like a 6 month wait for me until I turn around, with it. Like Softly with You, that last one. I didn't start getting caught onto the songs till months after. But then like his reels on social media that he just had with it, just it got me hooked into it and started listening to it again. So, but yeah, man, I'm a big fan of that dude. But anyways, yeah, that's probably I think all my new listens. I'm gonna see if I scoped anything else out on Spotify. Oh, I heard that new Cradle of Filth riff again, that Live Deliciously, and man, that
Yeah.
is super catchy. It really is. I really dig the riff.
Yeah, I don't think I've listened to it since it released, that first time we talked about it. Um, But yeah, I just remember it bothered me the entire time because I kept thinking he was combining the word decadent and delicious. So it just sounded like he was trying to create a new words. Like, but why you combine them when both words mean the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were ready to move on to metal news.
Yeah, I think so, man. Let's do it.
Uh,
Metal news.
Hi, welcome back.
This week in metal news, we have, speaking of Cradle of Filth, so obviously there's the Chaos and Carnage tour with Cradle of Filth and Dying Fetus, but
Hmm.
Dying Fetus announced a couple additional tour, kind of mini tour inside the tour with just them, Flesh God, and Undeath. And
Damn, yeah, that's sick.
one of them is coming to Lawrence,
Ooh,
and another one is
that's
coming
awesome.
to. I know this won't affect you, but Little Rock, which is like 4 hours, so I could go to either 3 hours to
Wow,
Lawrence or 4 hours to Little Rock, or we could go to Wichita, which is about
man.
4 hours for me, and I think probably 4 hours for you.
Yeah, probably same for me. Wichita just sucks. Or Kansas just sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Kansas fans, but it's a shitty state. It's so flat and boring.
It is.
Anytime I'm there, I'm just like, get me the fuck out of here, please.
Also,
No.
why is all the good parts of Kansas all right next to Missouri? Like you have Lawrence,
I know.
Wichita isn't too
They
far,
didn't.
Topeka isn't too far,
Yeah,
but
they didn't spread out at
everything
all.
else sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're not going to do anything with that land but put solar wind farms on it that probably don't work half the time anyways, tear some of that shit out and let's get some buffalo in there. I want some shit to look at when I'm driving. You know what I mean?
I feel like a lot of it's probably also cows. I feel like I saw a lot of cows when driving to Colorado.
Yeah, and I've actually seen pronghorn, which was awesome. First time I ever got to see pronghorn out in the, probably 100 yards out from the highway, but that was cool as shit. It was definitely more on the Colorado side of Kansas, but yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Damn, pronghorn. Get my rifle." No.
What's
But
pronghorn?
antelope, pronghorn
Oh,
antelope,
okay.
they got the two horns that they're
Oh,
like black, and so just another species of cervids. But what's cool about them is they're like one of the oldest, I want to say, or
hmm.
they're the most native to the like U.S. Like they're still in their historical range, so
Okay.
and still pretty decently populated, which is pretty cool. But yeah, anyways. Yep, I had never seen one in real life until then, so I just thought that was pretty neat.
I gotcha. Yeah, we
Old
could
man in
go.
me.
We have a decision to make to either drive closer to just see Dying Fetus, Undeath, and Flesh God, or drive further to see those same bands, but with Cradle of
Hmm.
Filth. Who else was on it? Gates to Hell. No, it wasn't. Was it Gates to Hell or was it Vomit Forth?
Vomit Forth, I want to say.
Okay. And I want to say, was there
Um,
another band?
yeah, it's a pretty stacked lineup. I don't remember I don't remember a lot of them. Damn, that would be a pretty sick one to hit. Do we know what days of the week they're on?
I do not.
Yeah.
Here, let me pull it up.
Let me just hack into the system real quick, see if I can crunch some numbers.
See if you can find their schematics. Here we go. Okay, so the
Okay. Not
Wichita
reading.
show,
Okay, come on, register, register.
they got me. They rerouted me to Friendster.
Sorry, I'm so stupid. Damn, I'm hacked.
So Wichita is May 12th, which
Uh,
is a Monday. So,
Jeez,
and it's Corpse
motherfuckers.
Pile, Vomit Forth, Undead, Knee Obliviscaris, Flesh God, Cradle
Undeath.
Filth, and Dying Fetus.
Yeah. That's a hell of a
Then,
lineup, man.
yeah, then the Just Dying Fetus, Flesh God, and Undeath. Lawrence, Kansas is Sunday. And then the Little
Oh.
Rock is 2 Mondays before all that.
Well, hey, on this flyer that I'm reading, it says 424 Dallas, Texas, Granada Theater.
What?
Yeah, it says 424 Dallas, Texas, but Granada Theater.
I mean,
The
there might
Granada's.
be a Granada in Dallas.
Oh, really? I guess it's like a multiple name thing.
Kind of like how
Well, you
I
know
feel
what?
like there's multiple Outland ballrooms.
Oh, okay. Could be right. I don't know. Um, but you know what that makes me think though is like I don't know that I'd be opposed to kind of branch out and maybe hit some new areas we've never been to before, almost kind of more road trip it. Might be cool.
Well,
Like
there
that
is another tour that
there
got announced that we could do that.
Oh, really?
That is the Carnifex 15-year anniversary of Hell Chose
Oh,
Me
yeah. Oh,
with
yeah, you sent me
Suffocation
this.
and
Yeah, dude.
Devourment.
That would be
And
sick.
who else was it? It was a deathcore
Um,
band.
that might have been Gates to Hell. Let me see. I always go to my phone. I got the fucking laptop right here in front of me. Um,
Oh, here we go. Distant, Body Box, and Monochromatic
oh
Black.
yeah. Oh man, Distant would be damn. That is a pretty sick show, dude. I think that would be super badass.
That is
When
June
is this
24th
tour?
in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
A Tuesday.
Fuck.
But that's only a
Shitty day
two
of
and
the
a half
week.
hour drive for me. So that's literally the closest besides it being Springfield or Rogers, Arkansas.
Hmm.
So for you, it would be take you about 3 hours to get to me and then 2.5 hours to get to Tulsa.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. But
All right.
damn, on a Tuesday? That sucks.
Yeah, I probably have to take 2 days off work, both the day of and the day after.
Fuck, yeah, man. Huh. I've also seen like Des Moines, Iowa. Well, shit, that's probably really far for you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's like, shit, that's probably 3 hours from Kansas City. So,
Des Moines, it's farther than that, I want to say.
oh,
Because
really?
Des Moines is like center Iowa. Because when I lived
Oh,
in
yeah.
Maryville,
I'm thinking of
uh,
Council Bluffs.
yeah, that's like Omaha, which is still like, so when I lived in Maryville, I went to Des Moines once, and I want to say it was 3 hours from Maryville, and Kansas City is like an hour and a half to 2 hours from Maryville.
Hmm. Damn. I don't know. Might have to figure something out for that one. That's a sick lineup, dude.
Yeah, I really just want to see Devourment. This would be the only time
Oh, I
I'd be able to
know.
see him.
Yeah, because they're not from here, are they? Or,
No, they're from, well, they live in Dallas, Texas,
mhm,
but I want to say since like they're probably not making that much money from Devourment.
right.
So it's probably very selective on when they tour because they're only on this tour for June 20th through July 6th.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like a short run.
Yeah, but I mean, because even the one time I bought merch from them, I got it mailed from directly from the guitarist.
Oh, wow.
Like Ian had his name as the return person and his address.
That's
So they're
crazy.
very like DIY.
Huh. That's cool.
Yeah. So there's one. But oh, other metal news. An update on what we talked about last week. The Oceano tour is still a go.
Oh, yeah, still a go. Yeah, we need to recap that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Man, what a crazy moment of intensity that was.
Mm-hmm.
No, but for real, yeah, I don't know. After it's all said and done, it still kind of stinks.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a lingering poopy, but kind of reforged the tour, I guess. Crammed a new cool band in there, Escuela Grind,
Mm-hmm.
as the addition, and then I Declare War still on, and then a couple more openers on that.
Yeah, I don't
I
remember
think
who
they
the other
stayed.
openers were, but because I really only cared about those two metal bands, which was See You
Yeah,
Next Tuesday, Night of Declare War. I mean, it sucks to See You Next Tuesday's not on there, but Escuela Grind's a great addition, so I think they
for
would be
sure.
cool to see.
That would be. And I guess it'd be cool to see Oceano just to say I did see them, but I also what I really don't want is to attend and then in between each song he's kind of doing this, farewell bit and I don't know. I guess I'm going in with preconceived notions, so maybe
That he's gonna that I'm always worried about he's gonna do in between songs and bitching about everyone who's bitching about him.
right, yeah, or that kind of shit. Yeah, that's what I don't want. I don't want to see any ego. And I feel like all I'm seeing from them on social media is ego. You know what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I don't know. Might be a show like I dip after I declare war or something. Maybe not, but I don't know. I'm
Also,
just
I
kind
hope
of
they
being
play
dramatic.
mostly their old stuff and not anything from the new album.
For sure. If you're going to go out with this, you might as well just go out and play depths all the way through. 'Cause that's
I
what the
don't know about
people
that because there's some other songs I want to hear. I want to hear a little bit from Contagion, Incisions,
True.
uh,
Dead Planet,
yeah,
that would be
or even
sick.
Dawn of Descent. I would want to see that again.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Was I saying, is that the right one? Dead Planet?
You're talking
Is that
about
the song?
is it is it
Ascendance or
Ascendance or
I don't know. I don't know now. I'm Open the Portal Breakdown, that song.
is that from which alien album was that from?
And then the breakdown is, damn, I don't know, dude. Something Nephilim?
Huh?
I don't
Oh,
know. I'm all
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the
sorts of
first.
out of
It's I
whack.
think that was Ascendance, with the purple alien and the like gold ball thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and the opening song is Nephilim. That's that cool intro, and then it goes into Transient Gateways. Okay, I'm not crazy. Dead Planet is a song on there. That is a good
Mm-hmm.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dawn of Descent's on there too. That's a banger album, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I expect you probably would hear some Goldies. I don't know. Total speculation, but I'd
Who knows?
definitely be down for that show still,
We could
probably.
end up going and it just be their new album all the way through.
Oh my gosh, I'd fucking ask for a return. I would buy a shirt and take it back. I'm kidding. But yeah, I'd be down for that one, I think. I think we got a lucky date too, and I think it's on a weekend, if I remember right.
That's good. Oh, I do have a slight update. Because I know it's technically sold out, but I already looked there. I can still buy tickets. But Meshuggah and Cannibal Corpse is still a potential because
Oh.
I found out my AT we are coming back every night.
Oh, nice.
So it all
Okay.
depends on what time I get out that day. And if I do go, I'll probably be late. I might miss Carcass. Just something I got to check
Okay.
with the wife on.
Hell yeah, man. All right. Word. Yeah, keep me updated, dude. I'm looking forward to that one, man. Month away, literally to the day. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
4-3. It might be 4-3. Might be swapped. It's on a Wednesday, I know that. So
Yeah.
again, not ideal, but yeah, it's whatever. I'm willing to do the trek for that fucking lineup, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I'm excited for that one, man.
Also, it looks like we're the only date that's sold out.
Oh, really? Wow.
That's what I'm seeing. I look at it and they keep saying tickets are selling out selling fast. St. Louis is already sold out. And I look at
That's
the poster
crazy.
and the sold out's only on St. Louis.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I think that's probably from our show. We probably sold it out.
Well, I think it's
Helps
also
sell it out.
I think it probably also has to do with the fact that Meshuggah is big, but they don't come here that often. So I think
Right.
that might
Yeah,
also
dude.
be it.
Well, you know what? That's why I secured my ticket, is because I know that they're from um wherever the hell, Sweden or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they don't tour a lot. And so I know that they just kind of came through on the Unmutable release, I want to say. But shit, that was a 2022 release, so that's already been a couple of years now.
And did they come to Missouri at all?
No, I think the closest they came, I want to say, is like Chicago or something.
Then I also know before that, I want to say they did a tour with Converge, which got me super excited. Then they announced the dates, and it was again nowhere near us.
Damn, yeah,
So I think it is probably has to do with the whole fact that they are so big, everyone loves them, but they rarely come through here. So
yeah.
I think that probably has to do with like there's a huge demand. People love Meshuggah. We want to see them,
Fuck
and
yeah,
you got to make
dude,
sure you
yes.
have your opportunity.
Yeah, man, I'm so pumped for that one. Damn, I'm excited. Awesome,
Yeah,
awesome sauce.
that's all I got for mail news. Oh, do we want to bring up that poll that I tagged you in and people's terrible taste in Cannibal Corpse
Yeah,
albums?
what is that, a troll poll? Because I'm like, it almost like seems that way, just how it's already automatically worded. And I think it might be kind of sarcastic, just, what is the worst Cannibal Corpse album? And then it literally lists all as an option. And you have, like, in my opinion, I think we rated it the best, probably, is rated most hated. So I find that hilarious. But because that album absolutely jams. And that's one thing, like, that I can say that album title, Red Before Black, and I automatically just, in my brain, it kicks into the Before Black. It's like it's just embedded in my brain now. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's so signature. So it's like I don't see how that is even hateable. But yeah, I found that hilarious.
I do think someone made the comment, and I think there might be a little bit of truth to it. I think people just saw a poll in Cannibal Corpse, and people are just like, "Oh, my, gotta click my favorite album," because it makes some of it makes no sense. Like, I don't,
Yeah,
because I want to say Red for Black was like number one, then also the Bleeding. Um, what
it was some old ones. I want to say that like were ranking the most high, but yeah, it was hard for me to decipher that poll and the results.
because the one I voted for being the worst, like it didn't have a lot of votes, which doesn't make sense to me. How is because I think Gore Obsessed is their worst one. I think it's boring.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It barely got any
Vile.
votes.
I can't remember Vile, but I remember that
Vile,
didn't have like any votes. Did it?
it looks like it. I'd say it's like bottom third. It looks like
Oh,
it
okay.
didn't do like. Yeah, I don't understand how Red for Black is very clear the runaway on this. That doesn't make sense.
That's
The
crazy.
Bleeding's number two. Um, it looks like up next is Eaten Back to Life, which I mean I kind of get, but it's not bad. Like it's their least
Yeah,
death one. Like, but at the same time, there's some other duds in there.
yeah. Where's the newer albums ranked on there?
Um, Chaos Horrific, it looks like it's probably like fourth or fifth place for worst, which I mean, I
Oh,
kind of get. Like, it's not, I don't think it's bad. I was just kind of bored of it. Violence and
yeah,
Imagine is like, looks like bottom three. So it's like not a lot of people voted for it. So, I mean, I get that. It was a good album.
yeah, yeah. It was a badass one.
Same with Skeletal Domain, Torture, and Visceration Plague. They're all very bottom, like barely any votes. It looks like Torture and Skeletal Domain have 2 votes each.
Huh?
Um, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't
Kind of
make sense to
crazy.
me.
Yeah, me neither.
That's all metal news I got. You got any other metal news you want to talk about?
I don't think so. Dude going viral, Pentagram. Isn't that kind of crazy?
Oh yeah,
He is
we were just
everywhere
talking
now.
about them a couple weeks ago, and now they're
I know.
blowing up again.
Yeah, again, probably from our show.
Again, we are the zeitgeist.
Yeah, I mean, we're only what 2 spots under Joe Rogan on
Exactly.
Spotify's
Look
top
out,
playlist
Joe. We're
or
coming.
podcast. Yeah, fuck yeah, we're taking that seat.
The
But
Protect
yeah,
Your
I don't
Parks
know. I
crew is
thought
going
that
to be on
was,
our show next.
yeah. Uh, that guy seems like something.
Yeah, that from what I understand, I've been seeing some other videos. It looks like he really just has a really great stage presence.
Yeah.
But that video that's been going viral, he looks like a Halloween city decoration with how he moves.
Yeah, you go up to it and you press the button, and that's what he does. You know, just has that like ghostly look. Oh, it's great. It is perfect. A perfect viral moment because he has already became like a GIF. Like there's already a GIF option to pick that like that whole crazy ass face. Oh, dude, I love it. But yeah, I got another based on that. I want to say I was talking to the band dudes, and I got another recommendation from Josh to check out that documentary.
hmm
So I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah, I think it's is it called Last Days Here, I want to say.
I got it right here. Let me see. Um, yeah, Last Days Here.
Yeah, it's good. And also with the whole him getting popular, I started listening to some of their older Pentagram. It is actually pretty good, especially the riffs. I mean, not crazy about the vocals, but Pentagram is actually pretty good, despite
They
me
are,
not being
dude.
into the
Like,
new album. But
well, and that viral video. That's what I'm like hearing that riff in the back and the tunes. I was like, damn, that is fucking badass.
hmm
If you close your eyes, that song sounds super sick. But if you watch it, you're like, what? What is going on? Because he's not headbanging. He almost looks like he's lost, and he probably is. Like, but definitely seems like it. He oddly is creating a vibe with that band. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna have to scope them out because it just they've caught my interest now. So
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. I recommend checking out, especially old Pentagram, because that's what that song was that they were playing. I think it was The Ghoul from
Oh,
their
okay.
either first or at least an early album. It's that heavy, like kind of the
Oh
stoner
yeah.
doom stuff, that heavy vibe.
Da-doom, da-doom,
Hmm.
da-doom, da-doom.
It's
Yeah, it sounds badass, man.
it's cool. I recommend old Pentagram.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think
Um,
that's kind of why I've been getting back into Doom a little bit is because of this whole pentagram craze that's kind of been going on with
Pentagram,
the.
yeah. Dude, it's got to be bringing them listeners to Spotify too, or
Hmm.
to wherever. So, that's awesome. That's what's really cool about art in the reels and shit like that. Like, I hate it. I hate that the addiction of it. I hate that you can just get fucking sucked into the scroll. But it's great for moments like that because I feel like they're probably an older doom band with a lot of history, and yeah, probably deserve the listens and views. So that's awesome.
I gotcha. So we could probably actually transition then to a topic tonight. How
Sweet.
do you feel about like I guess you kind of already said it, but your feelings when it comes to the viral marketing, when it comes to TikTok and stuff like that, when it comes to promoting like metal bands, like because sometimes it is unintentional. Like I feel like the pentagram thing was technically unintentional. Harm's
Hmm.
Way got pretty big with that one
Oh
video
yeah,
that kept getting remixed over and over again. Um,
yeah. Where he's stomping and shit.
hmm And they just
Yeah.
put whatever random music, usually like a hoedown or something like that, and he's doing
Yeah,
the
yeah, that's
Running
great.
Man.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
what's your stance on it? Because sometimes I do feel like it does get out of control a little bit and
yeah.
obnoxious.
Well, I'm just gonna say that if if people aren't paying their dues as far as podcast advertisements go, then they probably just need to start first and foremost. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, no, it's I don't know. It's kind of it's a weird time, and so I don't really know how that shit works because who made that video? Is that guy getting moolah from that pentagram clip? The one holding the camera? Or, Pentagram's obviously reaping benefits from it. I'm sure it's safe to assume that. But as far as the views on does that go into a Pentagram database that they can say, have under their belt for, whatever use? I don't know. I don't I don't know how that shit works really. The reels and all that jazz.
I don't know. I doubt Pentagram is actually making any money from the reel itself because I guarantee, based on that guy and like how old he is and just how he seems, I don't think he really understands like the whole like marketing and stuff like that. I think he is more of like a experience the show in person kind of guy. So if anyone videotaped,
Yeah.
I guarantee it was probably either a random fan or even maybe their
Mhm.
record label got a hold of that and just decided to put it out there. But like you said, no matter what, they're reaping the other benefits outside of it. Like they're getting a bunch of attention, so they're
Right.
probably getting a lot more sales, a lot more attention, probably in
Hmm.
potential more better paying shows and higher venues and stuff like that. So that's good. But
Yeah.
the thing that annoys me is that there are certain bands which I feel like solely rely on their social media presence instead of like
Yeah.
they're creating good music or going on the road and stuff like that. There's a specific band that annoys me with it. I don't listen to this band, and nor do I care to listen to it. But for some reason, they keep popping up, and it's this band called TX2. Have you seen these
Huh.
dumb videos?
I don't think so.
Like
I don't think I have.
it's pretty much like this whole like I'm trying to be edgy, but it's like 2000s level of like edginess of like a kid screaming at his parents kind of thing. Or they'll like when we were young, when we first started off, they said we couldn't book a single show, and it's like them warming up into an empty crowd, and then it cuts to like their show, and it's like, but look at us now, it's like always stuff like
Mhm.
that, and super fucking annoying.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah. Well, like that's probably paid. They're probably funneling money into advertisements and trying to get because you could do that, pay Facebook or Meta, whatever, do like some sort of advertisement for like a page or a post or a reel or some shit like that, and just fucking spam it to accounts out there, and um, it's to generate, your views and your likes and your capture and all that shit. So I think a lot of that shit's bullshit, and I hate a lot of it because I feel like the fake ones are just so easy to fucking see through. Like you could just see, who pays for their following, and that's what's crazy is like you pay for a following. Like that's sounds so gross and so weird,
Hmm.
um, because it really is. But these platforms normalize it and um, enable you to purchase advertisements, which can be beneficial. It does create good, but shit's just gonna find its way to get in there. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's kind of a law. It kind of sucks because I feel like it's just there's so much going on now, so much content being made that you could basically just pay for views, and it's like what's real art. You have to really decipher the real art from the bullshit, and that's challenging today.
Yeah, and I feel like so specifically with that band, I feel like they've even bought their own like success a little bit because they even have started to get like features with like other like somewhat popular bands. They're starting to get on actual bigger tours now, and their music isn't good. Like I saw they did a video with Ice Nine Kills. I think they're on a tour with a band that's kind of like Ice Nine Kills. And it's just,
Wow.
I don't know. It feels cringy. It feels gross. I don't like, because like you said, they're kind of just buying their following. And I feel like
Hmm.
it's a bunch of kids who's like, you guys don't see through this at all. Like this is something that was done like 10 to 15 years ago. It's not new. It's not authentic. It's
Hmm.
just, I don't know, edgy cringe shit. I feel like it's no different than like Blood on the Dance Floor and like Broken Side back in those days.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's hard. I mean, you do. It generates stuff, but it's just like, uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think there could be a time and place for it, but um, yeah, that's just the industry of advertisement, I guess.
Yeah. Well, so when it comes to those paid things, I also wonder like how much of this is actual real people or are we just paying for bots to
Yeah, yeah. That's another great point. Is like I believe that you absolutely are paying for fake fucking people, paying
Mhm.
for literally a number. That's what's crazy.
Mhm.
That is the deep truth of it. Is like because You know, I don't know. There's just obvious signs. One friend or 28 friends, but two posts since the current year that it is, that you
Mhm.
go to look at them or whatever. It's like, huh, that's kind of weird. And then you see next year they don't have a picture. And so that sort of shit, or their name's not even pronounceable. And yeah. So that is another weird aspect of it is that there's obviously a lot of fake accounts still stirring around. And yeah, I definitely believe you can pay for pay for bots.
Mhm. Which I feel like yes, it's bad on on those of those that are like trying to pay for like pay for fame and stuff like that. But at the same time, that's
Hmm.
also I feel like even worse for the company that's providing that because it makes it seem like both the person who's paying for it and the people they're trying to make think that, but it's not because, like we said, it's more than likely just a bunch of bots. So it's really just your
Hmm.
popularity is just based off of an algorithm, and then like I understand the views is going to maybe put you in an algorithm, maybe, but at the end of the day, if everyone did that, it's just going to be whoever's the most popular is the most has the most money that they can put down
Yeah.
towards it, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then, that band goes on a uh, you know, 15-day tour and they got 5 people standing in front of them, 9 out of 10 nights of the show. I don't know. That would be my guess because, if you're paying for the fake people, fake people aren't going to show up because guess what? They're not real. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
They
I don't know
probably
if I'm
could have
getting
done that
too
for the virtual
negative
tours.
Nancy, but, huh?
They probably could have done that back remember when COVID was going on, they were doing those virtual tours. Probably could have done
Oh,
that for the
yeah.
virtual tours as well.
Yeah,
Make it seem
true.
like so you don't, because I did one,
Oh, these are selling out. Yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
because you can even do like chat things, so you don't feel like a weirdo who's just sitting there on their computer watching this band
Yeah,
play a show for them.
right.
I feel like those chat rooms are probably even like borderline fake too, because who goes to a concert to talk to other people while the band's playing? That doesn't happen.
Yeah, that is weird. So did you see messages pop up that's like kissy face emoji, smiley face, thumbs up, and
No,
wow, great, love this.
I did see stuff like that, but I also saw like dumb stuff like destroying my fucking living room right now. My couch will never be the same. Just stupid shit.
Well,
It's like, who are
yeah,
you bragging to? Who you? What is
yeah, I don't
this?
know. Yeah, I mean, maybe they're on house arrest. I don't know. Maybe they are, raging. But me personally, I never bought into the virtual tours. That's just something I wasn't into. But I could see in the same kind of note, I get the appeal of a live DVD. I used to enjoy a live DVD.
Hmm.
That was cool. But that's also, I think, more well-rounded product than a fucking streaming show. What was the
Yeah.
streaming show experience? Was it do you get to see them live practice? I would pay for that. I would pay for a live practice setting viewing that's live feed. And I want to see them write songs as I'm watching or rehearse whatever for an hour. And then that I think would be pretty badass. But like if I'm just like tuning into a virtual tour of a previously recorded show, no way.
So there was only two I did. One was Suicide Silence, which was like a last second. I think I bought the ticket the day of, and they did send a shirt with it. So that's the only reason I kind of bring it up because I wore it the other day. It's like, oh, I forgot all about this.
That's cool
Um,
then.
it wasn't too bad. The only weird thing though is our date, the Lawrence, Kansas date, because they did
Hmm.
it like based off your location. So they pick a location. If you're within so many miles, you can buy a ticket to be at that concert. But that our date had two different locations. It was us and Portland, Oregon, I think. But all in all, it wasn't terrible. I would say it was almost kind of like a DVD because they also had skits in between the songs,
Oh,
like it supposedly was live because they even did a
so at
poll
least
thing.
entertaining.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
And I want to say even before this concert started, they did like kind of like you were saying a warm up thing, but it was more like it was the guitarist, I think Mark, the one with the beard.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I want to say he was like kind of like just warming up and like tuning his guitar and kind of like live chatting and talking, and even like, hey, can you name this song? And he plays a riff, and stuff like that. So that
That's
was kind of
cool.
cool.
That's fun. Yeah.
Every Time I Dies was really cool, very similar. But it wasn't a live thing. It was literally just, hey, whoever wants to buy this, you can buy it, and it'll be up for 3 days, 72 hours. And it was
Huh.
like their Xmas thing or their Etidmas, their Christmas thing they used to do. And it was kind
Oh,
of similar.
okay.
They did skits and stuff in between songs, and they also premiered a brand new song. It was AWOL,
Oh, that's
which was
fun.
cool.
That is
But
cool.
yeah, that's the only ones I ever did. I'm glad I didn't buy more. Apparently, still some bands still do it.
Huh. Yeah, I don't. I guess that's just, a way to cash in on extra revenue. And I mean, hey, dude, if they're making money on it or still doing it, they must be getting something for it. So, but I don't know. I hate to see these bands get sucked into these record labels. Like, I'm sure they have requirements. You have to post so X amount of reels every so often to update fans, and do this for, your fan base and all this shit. And like, I'm just stuck in the old days of, I want more mystery from a band than I do
Mm-hmm.
daily content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My opinion.
And I do
It's
think
like,
that,
it's a great space for it, but I just think sometimes it's just so unnecessary. And I think it can almost influence my decision if I'm going out to see that band or not, or influence my decision if I'm going to buy a product or not. But that could be a bad thing. Like if I'm seeing too much of them on my daily content, like I'm just like I don't know. I feel like I might burn out and not want to go see them live, whereas I might have had I not just seen that or something. And
yeah,
that's just me being picky. Me, I don't know. You know what I mean? But it's hard to explain without sounding like an asshole. But
I get it.
yeah,
Because
I don't know,
I
dude.
do think that there are certain bands that require that mystique and that mystery, and I think that's also kind of what draws you in a little bit more. Like, for example, I don't think Dragged into Sunlight would be the as interesting if they were posting daily every time. Like, I do like that a
Hmm.
little bit. Like, we hear from them every now and then, but not a lot. And usually it's like a
Yeah,
quick, like, hey, we might be doing something soon. Like, stuff like that kind of adds to like to where when they do release something, it's that much more special.
yeah,
Um, but also when it comes to like, imagine this social media stuff and constantly posting was all around when early black metal was around. Like, I feel like that would kind of
yeah,
crush the mystique because they can't be acting like that all the time. They can't be in their dungeons with a sword or a mace dressed in
yeah.
all the face paint at all times.
Live streaming the church burning. Comments on there. Oh my gosh, what is he about to do?
I miss you guys' early burnings better.
Yeah, yeah. You guys used to be way cool. Now this is clearly just for attention.
Edge Lord much.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's just crazy because I think it's going hand in hand with the generational upkeep of I don't know. I just think younger people are more glued to their phones than other age gaps or age ranges. Like I try to just forcibly separate myself from that thing throughout the day. And I still get caught sucked into it, but I really try hard to just not because I it's just not productive. I'm not getting shit done when I'm on that thing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Unless I'm paying a bill or buying something that I really have focus on looking up, but often, when I'm done doing that thing, I just, let's click this button, look at this stupid shit for a minute, and then I just scroll away. And so, yeah, dude, it's like it's its own weird addiction. And when you have musical content and that's in it, it's I don't know, it's a tough road. But I'm a less is more kind of guy.
Yeah.
I've always kind of thought that, and I really hold that true with bands. So I don't know. Acacia Strain, great example. I don't see from those guys every day, but when I do see a reel, man, is it fucking awesome. And they may post more often than I think. It may just be getting into my feed, every so often because but I don't know. Anyways, the last clip that I really liked was the guitarist ripping that sick ass riff from "Is This Really Happening?" That song, which I love, one of my favorites on that new album. And then the clip before that was Vincent, sorry, at a concert. It's that four funerals, no fucking
No fucking
wedding.
wedding.
Yeah, sick ass live breakdown, dude, and they just crush it. And it's like a 10-second clip, but loved it,
Was
dude.
that the
It's
one where he
awesome.
goes into
Perfect.
the, "Do you see this shit?" And then it goes to the toilet and then it cuts to the concert of that
Yeah,
part?
yeah, yeah. It's so good. Yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, so like I don't know, those dudes. I think they got it. They got it down, mastering the social presence. I don't know. I don't think it has to be a whole lot. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
But
But at the
yeah,
same, on the other hand, though, I do kind of get it a little bit when it comes to So
Keeping
it
up with the
is,
Joneses, you know.
yeah, because I was listening to just like a quick clip. I think it was like Alex Kohler, the original singer of Chelsea Grin. He was talking about when they were coming up, he was very competitive, to where he's always like trying to be better, trying to beat the other bands, like being let down that they're not the ones headlining. They want to be somehow better than those bands somehow. And I do
Huh.
think there is a little bit like I understand like you want to enjoy it, you're there for the music, you don't have to worry about it, but at the same time when it comes to if you want this band to be able to be sufficient to move on, you do have to have get a little bit of money coming in. So, because
Right.
obviously bills are going to keep coming in, and when it comes to social media, and especially in metal, there's the more extreme you get, the smaller and smaller and smaller that market gets, and
Yeah.
being on people's minds and just create all these other bands. There's more and more bands
Right.
coming out every day, so your
Huge
competition is
competition.
getting bigger and bigger. So doing something to where you're not getting buried, because just because your band might be better doesn't mean you're going to get more popular. How many bands do we see
Right.
that are like that? We see a lot better bands that are have a similar sound to a bigger band that's not as good. It happens all the time. So I kind of get to it a little bit, but it's one of those things like understand the crowd you're going to or trying to appeal to. So
Mm,
I don't know. It's both ends.
right. You need a balance, man. There needs
Hmm.
to be a balance. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of cool to see the transition from tape to CD to digital. And, now I feel like we're mostly solely digital. We have physical copies for fun, for
Hmm.
fun hobby time. But um, if you're keeping up on the music, man, you're listening digitally. So
Yeah.
um, it definitely helps the exposure aspect of it. So
Yeah. I have been debating on getting because with the Bronco, it only has a cassette player and radio. I do have a FM transmitter so I can play my music, but it sounds like shit because it's obviously through an FM transmitter through a almost a 40-year-old vehicle. But
yeah.
I've been thinking about getting some cassette tapes just so I can
Oh,
play it in
okay.
there because I don't know if I want
That'd be
to
cool.
replace the stereo with like an actual updated one or if I just want to leave it, kind of have that old vibe. So I'm thinking about getting some cassette tapes, like maybe some Motorhead or Black Sabbath, at least some older bands that would be, I feel like, cheap to get cassettes on.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's the cool thing about, again, I mean, modern bands are doing that too for funsies. So
mhm.
that's what's awesome. If you want to get in, some new metal in there and hear it in your truck on a cassette, I think that'd be badass, dude. I'd absolutely probably be doing that. So,
Yeah,
um, yeah, and that's just again a cool piece of uh yeah, merch, dude. I don't know. Another thing to collect. I mean, I guess you can't take a whole satchel of a collection on your
yeah, because
daily
I don't
trips.
think they
That
make
might
the
get kind of
booklets like they
crazy.
used to for CDs where I can just flip it and
Yeah.
it's just different cassettes in the
You'd
car.
be like, "Shh, all right, let's see."
Well, did your parents have it? I know mine did. Like one of those big boxes that you can pull out and it has all these cassettes in it.
Yeah, man, it's been a long ass time since I've seen one. Um, but I remember my buddy's dad, I want to say he had a cassette drawer or something like that, or may have just been a stand on top of a desk, but yeah, it was full of cassettes, man. It's like, damn, that is a lot of space. But yeah, I mean, it's hell, it was just an era of transition, musical transition. So I don't know, still pretty cool, I think, to have.
I don't know. I feel like that would be a hard time because technically you would have to almost buy two different versions of the same album, both a vinyl and a cassette. Because you
Yeah,
have the vinyl for
yeah.
home, then you have the cassette to take with you when you're on the road.
Well, hopefully a cassette's going for, I don't know, max $10. Am I
Uh,
right?
I've been looking Black Sabbath ones I can get for some for like 7, depending on which album it is. I went on indie merch store because they have a bunch of like just random cassettes.
Like
Cheapest
newer
one I saw was
bands?
like, yeah, it's a lot of newer bands. Cheapest one I saw I think was six something, but on average it's like somewhere between 13 and $20.
Damn, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that is another expense. You'd really have to pick and choose, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I don't know. I do imagine that there is merch heads out there though that just fucking buy the bundle whenever, a band's pre-order goes live or something, and they probably got collections of fucking all bands bundles and shit like that. You know that there's those people out there, so
Yeah.
that might be
So
the one thing they dump money into, you know what I mean? I
yeah,
might
because I
not have
even
much, but I got fucking every band's indie store collection.
I know Devourment even they released a couple of cassettes of like their first couple albums like Molesting and Decapitated and stuff like that. And those cassettes sold out really fast, which I don't really understand. I didn't think there would be that high of a need for cassettes, but like you said, there's just people who just want to collect as much as they can of certain bands or yeah, just stuff like that in general.
Yeah. Huh. That'd be cool, man. I don't know. I feel like I've seen some cool variations. Like they have like the an orange tape
Mm-hmm.
and or like not tape, but like the cassette itself is like orange. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I just thought that was kind of
Yeah,
cool.
I want to say Origin on Indie Merch Store. Theirs was orange for the Chaosmos album, which I
Oh, that's
think that was
cool.
one of the ones I was looking at thinking about getting, like that or a Death album, like either Scream Bloody Gore or Spiritual Healing.
Oh, dude, peeling flesh. If they did the
Ooh,
G
that would be
code,
good.
that should be purple. That'd be sick,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that'd be so badass. That would be a good one. I feel like to have on cassette because you got like the lowrider, the classic lowrider on the album cover, so it almost like goes with it. You know what I'm saying? That'd be tight. But yeah, anyways, so
Yeah.
streaming services. But
Well, actually, it's getting a little late. Are you ready to do some Dying Fetus?
yeah, man. Disclaimer: I didn't hit every album, but I think I got the gist of it. I
Okay.
think I know what my favorite ones are. So
Yeah, I'm the same way. I did listen to everything, but there's some I'm gonna have a hard time remembering. I might play a
yeah,
little bit of it, play a little bit of them just to refresh my memory,
same here.
especially the old stuff.
Yeah. Well, and
Dying
that's
Fetus.
exactly what I got to go for. I just shouted it out last week. It might have been their like debut EP, that
Oh,
Grotesque
Grotesque
Impalement.
Impalement. I did
Yeah,
listen to
so
that.
this I listened to that in high school, I want to say. And it's definitely more death metal than they have their or sorry, am I getting ahead of myself? I guess I'm kind of going into it, the ranking already, but
You're good. Actually, I have it up on Wikipedia because for some reason Spotify has it in way weird out of order.
oh, okay. Well, they just don't have it under their discography. Like it's at the bottom because it's an. I think for the most part, it looks like their discogs in order, but that grotesque impalement way down on the EPs. But anyways, yeah, I got exposed to this, and definitely one of the heaviest things I had ever listened to. Kind of in its own way, um, but I don't know. They definitely are more of that death metal side of things than they are like the slammy grooves yet. You know what I mean? Do you
Yeah.
agree with that?
Yeah, because it seems like something I was wanting to bring up is that this band seems to do a very good job of riding the line between like super technical, like genius level technicality, but
Yeah,
then also pairing it with like single brain cell caveman slam stuff. And it
yeah,
works
for
so
sure.
good.
It does, dude. And like, I really wasn't a fan of the vocals initially listening to Dying Fetus. I always kind of didn't care for them. But as I've listened to them more and more, they've really grown on me, man. And for the longest time, I didn't know that the dude riffing is also fucking doing the vocals, which that automatically you get bonus cred for that, dude. Any band, I
Hmm.
don't care. If you're in death metal or metal genre at all and you're doing riffs and vocals, like props to you, dude. David
Mhm.
Davidson, Revocation, another one. Um, yeah, I don't know. First one on the top of my head, but anyways. So yeah, Grotesque Impalement, man. Signature song on that one, obviously being, I think, probably the title track, Grotesque Impalement. I want to say they probably still play this to this day. Um, I'm not sure about much else on this. Just off the top of my head, I don't know that much else stuck with me except for Hail Mighty North, Forest Trolls of Satan. That is absolutely a great song. If you haven't
That
listened to it,
was the best song on the album.
yeah, yeah. It's not really death. Well, I guess the vocals are still death metal, stuck in screams, but it is like power metal, kind of, power
Yeah,
folk or
I got
something.
kind of a hair metal vibe. Like it sounds almost like Van
Yeah,
Halen, but with Dying Fetus's vocals over top.
yeah, yeah,
Like if
yeah.
he
That's a
if it was an
great,
instrumental, this could
great
be in
description.
any 80s movie where he's trying to pick up the girl at prom or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. And it's so hilarious that that song is featured on an EP with that album cover of three corpses brutally impaled, upwards and downwards, and yeah, just in different brutalities. I mean,
Just
it's grotesque,
grotesquely.
man. It is grotesque impalement. But that's
What
the 2000 EP debut. What's your thoughts on this one?
I liked it. However, so when I was going through their discography, I forgot to go back to this one. So I was already about 4 albums deep. I was like, oh,
Oh,
fuck, I
okay.
got to do Grotesque Impalement. So it was very much a production shift going back to
Yeah.
this. But
Oh, yeah.
I did like Bringing Back the Glory. That was the third track. I really like that one. And then also
Okay.
I gotta also bring up, like you did, Hail Mighty North Forest Trolls of Satan. I mean,
It's a
it's
classic.
funny, but at the same time, it's like it's memorable. Like you're gonna remember it. It's fun.
It is, dude. Yeah. It's
Um,
definitely a sidewinder. I was like, this is fucking Dying Fetus. I remember the first time I heard that. I was like, what? Crazy. Yeah. If you haven't listened to that song, go check it out.
I'm
But
probably
yeah.
thinking a solid 6 on this. Do you have a ranking for this one or a score for
Okay.
this one?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna kind of go higher for an opening debut just because of the pulling off a hair metal song like that in a brutal death EP. Yeah, no other band could have done it, I don't think. So I'm gonna throw a 7.8 at it.
Okay. All right. Up
This is a
next,
pretty big discography, man.
yeah, wasn't too bad though. I mean, once I got to a
It's
certain
fun.
point, yeah, once I got to a certain point, it's like, oh, this is nice. I didn't realize that this was so good.
I
Um,
know. Yeah, I had that same reaction.
Up next, we have their debut full length, and that is Purification Through Violence. Um, this was still pretty raw, but I think it's still pretty good. Blunt force trauma, and you kind of brought it up. They're still not super technical. It's still very kind of typical death metal mixed with kind of like they've always had the slammy parts in there. Um,
Mm,
for me, the top tracks on this is going to be Blunt Force Trauma, and then I also had to bring up Raped on the Altar. I don't know, just something about this is just meanness, and I kind of like
yeah.
that aspect of it. Um, but it's still pretty rough around the edges, so I'm probably going to give this
Hmm.
a 6.4. What did you think of
Nice.
this one?
Yeah, it's good, man. It's not, like you said, it's not totally fleshed out, I don't think. Completely well-rounded. It is still tight, but it's just kind of not as tight as modern, obviously. But they're just starting out, so that's expected. Still get good songs, like you mentioned. Blunt Force Trauma, I think, is probably the biggest one on here. Um, but yeah, brutal, super deathy. Terrible album cover, I gotta say. Not a really big fan. Just weird, it just looks like they threw it together on paint or something.
Yeah.
But whatever. But yeah, man. So I'd probably give this one a 6.6.
Okay. So we got a 12. What was your score again?
6.6.
All right, so we got 12.8. All right. One thing I forgot to bring up with grotesque impalement, I thought was really weird the minute long song Final Scream, Prelude to Evil, which sounds almost like an
Yeah.
abusive father, but then the guy says the kid says I'm 26, dad. So I don't know what's going on with what is that all about?
I don't know. There's definitely a lot of oddity in there. I really don't know, man. And I also don't know. I really didn't check out the lineup on this band, but I want to say that frontman's he's an original, right? Do
Oh,
you know
John
if this band's
Gallagher.
all original? Yeah.
I think John Gallagher's. I don't know if the drummer is, but I want to say the guitarist and singer John Gallagher is, and I want to say the bassist is maybe. But they also
Huh.
used to have another guitarist.
Okay. Huh.
And then they also had an album where they also had an additional person who was just additional vocals. Like John and him, I guess, would both do lead vocals
Oh,
from
okay.
what I saw.
Right
And I
on.
want to say that's on the either uh war the press the something we'll get to that. It's either this one or Stop at Nothing. One of those has an additional lead singer. I forget which one.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Um Up next we have Killing on Adrenaline. And I feel like I don't know, I didn't really get the vibe when it came to the songs, but I almost feel like maybe this is where they get a little political. I don't know. I feel like that should maybe just the album cover and just the name of the album because I don't really get that vibe from the music. But I've always thought of Dying Fetus as that a little bit, as
Hmm.
slightly
Yeah.
political. But I do kind
Yeah,
of
for
like this
sure.
one a little bit better. Has title track Killing on Adrenaline, Procreate the Malformed, We Are Your Enemy. Um, then also,
The
um,
classic.
yep. So even people who don't really know this band typically know this song, and that is the classic "Kill Your Mother, Rape Your Dog" song.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel
Which,
like you're kind of getting it kind of gets back into that grotesque impalement goofiness,
mm-hmm,
obviously, with that one, but it's oddly like catchy,
mm-hmm,
and it's obviously like kind of hooky that sticks with you. And so I think its popularity is not only just for like a shock value sort of thing, but it's actually like kind of a good structured song. So it just kind of, I don't know, just kind of worked, man.
mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah,
think that's
it's
probably the biggest one on this album, wouldn't you say?
yeah, that is. I want to say it's just in their whole. I would say probably the early half of their discography. This is probably like the biggest one. So I want to say they still have merch for this song. Like they have like it looks shirts that look like a bathroom sign, to where it's like a male figure killing the female and then holding the dog and another picture of it.
It's just so ridiculous. It's so hilariously ridiculous.
Yeah, it looks like that song has 2 million plays.
Damn,
Everything
that's
else is in
nuts.
the couple hundred thousands.
Wow. That's probably one of those fucking like torture songs that the government uses on people.
You know what? I'm surprised that one was not brought up because I think we talked about with Deicide where they would use certain songs as
Yeah,
torture at Guantanamo. How was this
yeah,
not one of them? Because this came out, I'm
yeah,
pretty sure, before it.
yeah, it might have been, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna
the
give
whole
this.
American flag, like
Yeah.
I don't know. Loose connection there, but
Yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 6.7. It's getting better as it goes on.
right on.
What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's getting stepping in the right direction. But yeah, man, a cool album for sure. I'd probably give it a yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6.7 as well. I'll
Okay.
tell you.
So that's a 13.4. All right. Up next, we have, I got to scroll down because Spotify has it in a weird order. Destroy the Opposition.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of back to the All Over the Place album covers, but I kind of like this one better
Mhm.
than Purification Through Violence. I don't know about your
Th-
opinions on it.
Yeah,
What's your
this one
thoughts?
definitely it makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty clear with that album cover. Um, yeah, and it's I I think the album's great, man. I think the sound is so much. It's like a huge step between this the last one and this one, and I think it's awesome, dude. It's a solid album through and through, especially for earlier material, and clearly getting almost kind of more mature aspects with the very political kind of heavy vibes on this one. And even you almost have it in every single song title. Praise the Lord, opium of the masses, destroy the opposition, born in Sodom, epidemic of hate, in times of war, justifiable homicide. So yeah, pretty clear on that one. But yeah, man, I really like this album. I think I'm probably going to give this one a 7.6.
I gotcha. Yeah, this does. It's like you said. It's still getting better. I feel like technicality is kind of becoming more. It's being more fleshed out to where Dying Fetus is kind of becoming more of what we are familiar with him in this one.
Hmm.
Um, Born of Sodom is a pretty good one. Praise the Lord. Opening of the Masses. Uh, Top tracks also Epidemic of Hate. Good album. It's still not quite there for me, so I'm probably gonna give this probably a 6.9. Um, yours was 7 what?
7.6. Just wanted to
So
make it complicating.
14.5. Wait, did I do 6.8? I'll do 6.9 since I already put. So 14 and a half as Destroy the Opposition. Up next, this one also has a big song in their old discography, and that is their album Stop at Nothing. Um, Big song on this one. I'm pretty sure it's still in their set list today. One Shot, One Kill. Uh, kind of going,
Oh yeah.
still kind of maintain the slow step for me, in my opinion, still steady, slow
Yeah.
incline to getting better. Still not right where I want them at, but still pretty
Hmm.
good. The progress is there. Um, it's pretty good. Although when it comes to this older stuff, I would probably go back to more Destroy the Opposition or maybe Killing on Adrenaline. This one was good. It's
Yeah.
just it doesn't stick with me as much as those other ones. So I'm probably gonna give this a 6.7. What's your thoughts on this one?
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I think I liked it, but it's a lot of just kind of guitar running and almost like super technical, um, really heavy like Nile vibe style in this one.
Hmm.
Um, and I didn't really realize how closely kind of sounding they are to Nile. And it's really the Carl Sanders running that he does all over his guitar, that I kind of
Hmm.
relate with this band. And it's almost like they're doing the same kind of stuff, similar stuff, obviously not the same, but yeah, man, good album for sure. But I'd probably give this one a 7.1.
Okay. So we're at a 13.1. All right. Up next, we have War of Attrition. This is the first time I ever heard of this band was because of this album. Some I went to at FYE and somebody pointed out, I was like, oh, they're playing Dying Fetus. There's a band called Dying Fetus. It's like, yeah, and they had showed me the album that they had it on display. Is like now playing Dying Fetus, War of Attrition. Um,
Brutal.
for me, this is where there's a turn. This is where I feel like everything is finally in place of what Dying Fetus sounds like. The production is, in my opinion, where it should be.
Yeah.
And it kind of, this is the turning point for me. This is where I want them to be. And this is a great album. Starts off with Homicidal Retribution, Raping the System, uh, Ancient Rivalry, Parasites of the Catastrophe. Oh, Catastrophe, sorry. I don't know why I
Oh,
thought that
yeah.
E was an A.
Catastrophe.
Catastrophe. This is a great album.
Hell
Also, I
yeah.
love the politicalness of it. Just kind of fond memory of seeing this album cover.
Yeah.
Just like
More,
finding out about this random extreme band. So yeah.
I think the first solidly executed album cover too. Very
Hmm.
clean, crisp looking, simple wording on the logo. Nothing even crazy, but
Hmm.
definitely heavy political.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I agree. Right on par with that, modern Dying Fetus sound. Just sounds well molded here. But I'd give this one a 7.7.
Okay. I think I'm going to give this a 7.5. So we're going to be, what were you again? 7.8?
7.7.
7. Okay. So
We're getting really hard now.
15.3.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I
meant difficulty.
also I love so I don't know what about the old previous album covers. I don't know if it was the color palettes, but I think this one I'm getting weird and nitpicky, but I love even just the colors and the feel of this album cover a lot better too. I feel like I
Yeah.
don't know, I feel like everything else kind of felt like old grindcore-ish kind of style of album covers, like Napalm
Right.
Deathish. To where this
For
one
sure.
feels actually more modern and clean. I don't know, I like that part of it.
Yeah. No doubt.
Um, Up next was so I don't think I've ever listened to this album until this playthrough, and I didn't realize how awesome this next album is, and that is the
Oh,
album
dude.
Descend into Depravity. Holy shit, this is a great one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is an awesome album. I'll let you go start off with this one. Go ahead.
Yeah, dude. So this is actually like the first Dying Fetus album that I actually listened to thoroughly. Like I remember being in high school. This one dropped, and I went through the whole Dying Fetus history, Grotesque Impalement. I may have heard Grotesque Impalement like simultaneously whenever I, discovered this album, but I love this one. I love this one too so much. I think it's front to back a all throughout solid album. Um, Super brutal. I still think it's probably more. I'd say this one's more death than others as far as like how slammy they can get in others. You don't. I feel like there's not a ton of slam in this one just yet, but still super solid album, man, and great production. I love it all around. Um, I'm gonna give this one an 8.6.
I gotcha. So I remember I've always heard about the song Your Treachery Will Die With You, but it's the opener. Awesome
Yeah,
opener. Then after that, Shepherd's Commandment, great. And I
great one.
was even more surprised by the ending of the album on Ethos of Coercion.
Oh yeah, dude.
Awesome album closer. This was a
Absolutely.
great album. I'm very surprised that this has kind of been under my radar for so long. I haven't really checked this one out. It is a great one. I'm going to give this one probably an 8.9. Um, what was your score again? I got to do math.
8 point. What did I say? 8.6. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
8.6 sounds good.
So 17.5. The only
And we
issue. Oh, go ahead.
we may have just been about to comment on the same thing. Um, I don't know about you, but I feel like this is Josh Brolin on the album cover. It
It
looks like
might
he's
be.
dragging a body.
I was going to talk
uh,
about the album art.
I can't help but think that that's Josh Brolin pointing a gun at me and then dragging a body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It almost just kind of feels like they kind of took a step back, maybe went with the previous artist, but asked for a more modern touch. Kind of seems like that's what we got with this album cover. Maybe not, but yeah, to me it's Josh Brolin, hands down.
I don't know. So I've always been thrown off with this album art because I don't feel like the title fits the album artwork that much. Because I almost feel like the album
Yeah.
artwork for this and title, you could switch it with Wrong One to Fuck With, and both of them would have better suited
Mm,
for what's going on.
wow. Great point. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Great point on that.
Because I've always thought I've always looked at it through my phone. I always thought it was like some guy pointing a gun at me while he's on a bridge when it's raining. But listening to it, yeah, he's dragging a body. I want to say there's another body behind him, so I kind of get it, but I still feel like it doesn't fit as much. I feel like
Yeah.
when it comes to depravity, I feel like it has to be more brutal to where I don't really know what's going on in this situation. But if you put
Yeah.
wrong one to fuck with on it, it's like, oh, it all kind of ties together a little bit.
Yeah, you're so right. I never would have thought of that, but yeah, swap those two makes perfect sense because yeah, Descend into Depravity, it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like highway bridge chaos, you know?
Hmm.
So, I don't know. Yeah, kind of crazy. But I don't know, the music makes up for it.
Oh yeah, great album.
Yeah, for sure.
But up next, we have another amazing album. This is the
Oh,
one
hell
that
yeah.
made me start paying attention to them. And that is 2012's Reign Supreme.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
Holy fuck, this album's great. Starts off with Invert the Idols.
Yeah.
Great sweep picking.
Oh, insane. Yeah,
Insane.
it
Awesome.
is, dude.
Then followed up by Subjected to a Beating. Awesome.
Yeah, awesome
Uh,
title. It's heavy
mhm.
as hell. You know, it's so damn good.
You got From Moon to Waste with the gnarly
Yeah, fuck the baby.
sample at the
Let it
beginning.
die. I was
You
like, oh
got
my gosh. It sounds so horrible. It sounds like one of those clips like on that Soft White Underbelly
yeah.
documentary. You know what I mean? It's like,
I
oh,
forgot about
jeez.
that. I'm glad someone
Yeah,
else knows about that
yeah.
documentary series. That was a
That's
great
a
documentary
that's
series.
it's crazy. I think he's still doing videos. I don't know.
I know he did a
But
lot of stuff with the Skid Row people. Like he was always
yeah,
talking with people from Skid Row, not the
yeah.
band, the actual place.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah,
he's not
not
just having
Sebastian
Sebastian
Bach.
Baca.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Yeah. I don't know. I always
Anyways,
hear it,
great
and
album. Yeah.
whenever I heard that sample, I always think of the South Park episode with the wrestling. It's like where he pretends to be a girl saying she's addicted to having abortions.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's
Oh
what I always think
man.
of. But yeah, great album. Followed by Dissidents, also, and then In the Trenches, and then my all-time favorite one from this album. And I remember hearing it, falling in love with it. I remember showing this song to a lot of people, and that was Devout Atrocity with that amazing. This song is really just a bunch of great riffs followed by great riffs. Um, that it's awesome. I love this album. I'm gonna give this probably
Yeah,
a
dude.
9.8.
Hell yeah. Did you catch the bonus track on the deluxe edition? Dead Horse Love to Fuck.
I don't think I did actually.
Yeah, I didn't either. I just noticed I clicked on the deluxe edition and that's the bonus track. Like, oh damn, dude, this band. It's so hilarious, but so well, it's such a supreme album. It's a
Hmm.
great title because this album is supreme. Like it literally does reign supreme in their discography for me. Front to back, dude, it is just a phenomenal listen. And then I personally, my favorite track on this album, hands down, has got to be From Womb to Waste. That the shock factor of that opening sample, and then it just kicks into the dun 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 dun, just a sick ass groove with a sick ass beat, dude. Oh, I'm here for it. I love it. I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna give this is my 10. Yep, this is my 10 in the Dying Fetus discography for sure.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right.
Kick ass album, dude.
Up
And then
next,
it seems like they kind of got a
yeah, they
break
had a
in the
long,
gap.
about 5 year gap.
5 years.
And they even changed their logo a little bit. Well, they still have. I guess they decided to create two logos for themselves. Their old, just plain text block Dying Fetus logo, but
Hmm.
then this new one in
Well,
2017. What's that?
I was just gonna say this is actually this is the Grotesque Impalement logo. They like
Oh,
revived it.
okay. I never
Yeah, for
noticed
this
that.
one. Yeah, so if you go back to that Grotesque Impalement, it's actually that logo just kind of modernized. Well, you know what? I guess it's not technically the same, but it is. Well, yeah, it looks like it's derived from that at least, touched up.
Reminiscent.
But yeah, yeah, for sure. So I thought that was cool when I seen
Hmm.
that this album dropped. It was like, oh damn, maybe we're going back old school, which honestly, not really. I mean, it's
No.
still got that super techy, modern, sound, which I love this album too. It's a great comeback album after 5 year gap. Brutal as hell, man. What's some of your favorites on it?
So, with this album, Wrong One to Fuck With, I was super excited for it, and I did love it when it first came out. But after a while, my love for this has kind of fallen off a little bit. I do still
Really?
love Panic Amongst the Herd, Die with Integrity,
Yeah.
Fixated on Devastation.
Oh
But my
yeah.
issue with this album is that with all their like with Reign Supreme, their other albums, there's always a good balance between the slammy parts and the techie parts. To where this one
Mm-hmm.
feels like there's so much more tech than the slammy parts. So I felt like it was too heavy-handed on one end. And when it comes to that, it
Mm.
felt like sometimes the songs were a little too long, especially on like when it comes to Die with Integrity, it's like 5 minutes long, and there's not really like slammy parts to get kind of like make me feel dumb again and just want caveman slam around. Um,
Yeah.
but it is still very good, very super aggressive. Like the album title's great for what this album is. It's fucked up, just a fucked up vibe. And I do enjoy that part. So I'm still probably gonna rank it pretty high, and that'd probably be an 8.8. Um,
Nice.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
What was your some of your favorite songs on this one?
I love the start, dude. Fixated on Devastation, badass opener. Panic Amongst the Herd, Die with Integrity. I want to say Reveling in the Abyss is also good. Kind of loses me a little bit on the midsection. Um, and then Fallacy, I want to say, is another good one. And Wrong One to Fuck With, obviously, ends with that one, which is super sick. But yeah, dude, still a great album, I think, front to back, especially for, modern Dying Fetus, dude. I was really happy with it. But I'm going to give this a 8.8.
Okay. So we actually have the same score. Samesies.
Nice.
Ooh, just barely beats Descendant Depravity by point 0.1.
Oh, wow. That's a close one.
All right. Then up next, we have kind of another kind of a long gap.
Yeah.
From
Yeah, never.
2017 to 2023, we have Dying Fetus's newest album, Make Them Beg for Death.
Damn.
Um,
What a statement.
oh yeah. And I feel like the title of this album fits the album's vibe so perfectly. The album
Yeah.
cover is gnarly as fuck. Like I love how they make it
Yeah.
seem like old vintage, like B style horror movie. I
I
also feel like
know.
the picture itself almost has like even a tint to it to make it look even more disgusting. I don't know if it's like a yellow or a green tint to it. They did
Yeah.
everything to make it just feel vile and disgusting. I
Gross.
love I
Yeah.
love the cover. Um, so I feel like this album, I was somewhat excited, but then I got turned off because I felt like more people were talking about Dying Fetus than I'd ever seen before, and I kind of didn't like it. Like I was seeing them being talked about in like metalcore and post-hardcore things. Like I felt like Dying Fetus was getting popular amongst crowds I didn't think would be interested in it. Because this, for me, this was the that one extreme band that kind of like Devourment. Like most people aren't going to like this, and that's fine. This is why I like them. They're my little thing. So then
Right.
everyone's talking about this band, and so for
The
some reason
hidden
that kind
gem.
of yeah, it's that kind of like turned me off for a little bit. So I was kind of like hesitant about this album.
Mm-hmm.
But the more I listen to this album, this is an amazing fucking album.
It
Like
is, dude.
it's so they also another thing that kind of threw me off, kind of made me disgruntled about the album. They released almost half the album before it came out, so we kind of knew what we were walking into. But it doesn't matter. I still love this fucking album. Enlightened Through Agony is a great opener. Compulsion for Cruelty, I'd say about halfway through the song is great. Then after about that second half, I kind of get bored. Twitter's like, all right, I kind of want to turn it off. But then as soon as Feast of Ashes comes on, I was like, fuck, I'm right back into it. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Throw Them in a Van. Awesome, short, to the point, nasty, unbridled fury. When the Trend Ends. This is
man. Yeah.
an awesome album. I'm probably going to give this one my 10. The only one thing I do have a complaint a little bit about is I don't feel like he's doing his signature almost Cookie Monster growls anymore in this one. It's kind of more just the same, but I do feel like that's just kind of the vibe of this album. It's not as fast and on the rails as Nails, but it's close to that to where Dying Fetus can be. So that is my one complaint. I missed that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's still like, this is amazing. It's either going to be this one day or Reign Supreme another day. So I'm going to give today, this is my 10. What's your thoughts on this album?
Hell yeah, man. I'm right there with you. I was so thoroughly impressed with this album when it dropped, dude. And yeah, I think I think their name got big for good reason, though. I think they just released incredible music. And I'm right there with you. If I didn't rank Reign Supreme 10, it would have been this one. But so this is going to be, or I don't know. My favorite track has got to be When the Trend Ends. I love that groove, and I feel like that's not typical of Dying Fetus. It's almost more progressive than it is kind of slammy, but it's still got slammy flavor to it. And so, I don't know, man. I just think it's great creativity. It is a great, well-rounded album, and so I think that is reason why they got popular. But I'm kind of with you in the fact that in the metalcore scene, I feel like metalcore kids, this might be the band's merch table that they go up and they just buy a shirt because it looks cool and brutal, and they're not actually true fans of the music, which, whatever, that money's still going to that band, so that's great. But, I guess it's almost, you don't want the fan pot tainted with posers and shit, but whatever. Anyways, this album, back to it, it's just, I think it's great, dude. I think it's phenomenal. Great death metal album of modern day. Yeah, man. And couldn't have asked for a better album, dude. And album cover, Collective, like you said, it's so great. It is their best album title to the cover. And you get not one logo, but both of their logos. They got the bold font in front of the old one, which I think is pretty badass too. So yeah, I love it, dude. I'm going to give this one a 9.8.
Okay. Ooh. We have a tie for our number one slot.
Oh, damn.
And it's one we've both talked about as it's one of those things, like it's just kind of dependent on the day. Which one is...
Damn.
So at number one, we have a tie at night with 19.8, Reign Supreme and Make Them Beg for Death.
Wow.
And I don't know. I'm actually okay with that. I don't know if you are want to change your score
okay
to
that,
get
man.
one, but okay, yeah. Let's leave it, because in all honesty, they're pretty much both on par with each other.
They are, dude.
Amazing albums.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Dying Fetus. This is our album rankings. At number one, we have the tie at with 19.8, Reign Supreme, Make Them Beg for Death. Number two with 17.6, we have Wrong One to Fuck With. And number three, we have Descendant Depravity. Yeah, I'm pretty content with this.
I'm content with that too, man.
Hell yeah.
And I think that's solid for a band, It clearly looks like they're just getting better and better. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and going through this discography, I really do kind of want to see either them with Cradle or just them by themselves with, well, not by themselves, but with Flesh God and Undeath. And I almost would rather see them maybe just with Undeath and Flesh God, just because I feel like with that large of a bill, maybe their set will be cut a little bit. So being able to see
Yeah.
more of dying fetus, I think, would be better.
True. Good point. That is true.
Yeah. That is it
Oh
for
yeah,
our
man.
dying fetus album ranking.
That was a fun one. I really
mhm.
enjoyed recapping those dudes.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, going into it, I would thought going through the early stuff was gonna be pretty rough. A lot better than I
Hmm.
thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
I guess I just have better speakers now than I did in the F-150.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I've thought about in my truck is I'm thinking about, just how much I listen to shit and love music, like, and how much money I've already put into the Ranger. I think I might do once I get all the internal components good and under the hood stuff solid, then I might invest into a nice speaker system for the truck because that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, well, with mine, I just need to kind of update everything, but I've kind of been debating on which things I should work on first. In your opinion, obviously you want it to run, so obviously that.
Yeah.
When it comes to, because I need to replace some of the parts on the outside, then get it repainted, but also on the inside, there's some stuff I need to replace. Which do you think would probably be the better start?
What's the options again? Go over that.
So like,
You have some
I need to update
outside
the
things that need.
outside because I need to replace because I can buy them in sections.
Mhm.
Like at the rear outside panel on both sides need replaced because there's rust over the wheels, like over the wheel well. I think it's called a wheel well. Like it's rusted through to where I can see through it on both sides.
Oh, okay.
But that's the major parts of the rust. The front has a little bit, but I feel like you can almost like sand it and then just kind of treat it. So I would have to replace those back panels. Probably also the tailgate would need to at least replace the shell, and then repaint it, treat it, and stuff like that. So that stuff needs to get done, obviously, at some point. But then in the inside, I need to update the carpet. The headliner needs updated because that's all ripped shit. Then also, I was wanting to update the door panel, like the inside door panels, because it looked like the person had done a lot of work on it, especially on the driver's side, because it's only two screws holding onto it. So replacing the door handle was pretty
Oh,
easy,
wow.
but I'm gonna need to replace the stuff. So it's one of the
Damn.
things of either do I update the inside first or do I update the outside first? Which would you think?
Me personally, I think that the rust would probably eat at my brain more than the internal stuff is, and I almost weigh that more as like a need and a want. Inside you want it to look nice, but if it's functioning, it's probably gonna be able to last longer than that rust that could be, creating more damage, letting water get through to cause more damage to stuff underneath it. I don't know, but that would just probably be my train of thought if it was in that situation with me. So I don't know. That's probably what I would go. Personally, with my truck, what I've been doing is I think that, you know, I say this now, but my truck's going to a shop tomorrow to literally get cosmetics repaired. So, but I kind of need it to drive because my tail light's bashed in, and I just want it to look nice. But when that's done, my next approach is I'm going underneath the truck and literally where I just see visible leakage. I just see excessive, you know, looks like it has moisture, and if I see spots underneath in my driveway where it's like collecting, leaks, I want to handle leaks. I don't want the thing to leak anymore. I want to scope out my bearings. I want its functionality. I don't want to have to worry about this truck for like the next decade if I can do that. So, um, I think there's some stuff under there that probably needs some attention after I do this wave of cosmetic. But I'm like you. I really want to juice up that interior as well. I think mine could probably use some new carpet too, which that interests me, but man, that seems like a daunting task is to redo the carpet in there. I don't know. I've never done anything like that.
I haven't either, but I've been watching some YouTube videos and it actually looks a lot easier than I originally anticipated because obviously you just have to unscrew the seats out and then after that you just find the panel to where you open up the panel, then you can just like take a hook, rip up all the carpet, just make
Huh.
sure it's the metal's all clean. You put down the padding and like the fireproof thing. Like there's a
Okay.
blanket, like fireproof stuff, then you put on the padding. Then after that you put on the carpet. Let it sit there for about 2 or 3 days in the heat, and that'll like get the wrinkles out, and then you can just kind of put everything back in there. Then the screws should also hold it in place and stuff. So that looks a lot easier, although YouTube always makes everything looks easier because I don't know how many times these
Oh
people
yeah.
have done it. So
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. It'll be a 15-minute video, but it'll take you, that was the case with my brakes. It's a 15-minute video that I watched, but it literally did my brakes over the span of days. So, you have to rewind that 15-second mark like 20 times. But so do you have to do like an adhesive underneath the carpet or anything like that to keep it down or no?
I don't think so because it was supposed to be like something about it is like the fabric itself. It's supposed to just, especially with the heat, it's supposed to just kind of like lay down on it. So the
Okay.
heat's gonna like when they're because obviously when they ship it to you, it's gonna be all folded. So there's gonna be all these
Uh-huh.
wrinkles and stuff. But when you let it on the heat, then you get like once you get it down one side, kind of like a regular carpet, you kind of take the stretcher
Okay.
thing, kind of push it out, and that should kind of even everything out for you. And then
Okay.
obviously cut off the excess. Because, like for my Bronco, I found there's a website, the Bronco Graveyard,
Oh.
and you can buy each individual part, whatever you want, and whatever
Oh,
year it
cool.
is. And so I'm assuming if there's one for Bronco, there should be one for Rangers as well. So you can just
Yeah.
buy the specific one, and it'll fit it to where if
Oh,
you do
that'd be
have like
great.
ridges and bumps, it'll match that as well.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Yeah, because you could probably even choose your carpet color too. Kind of
I
customize a
have
little bit,
so
huh?
many different options for that. Headliner, I do not. I have one option that's black. So Danny was telling me I can go custom one made somewhere. So
That's cool.
that needs replaced because it's all ripped up. There's a fabric hanging, but
Oh, damn.
everything else is pretty good.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that'll be a fun project, man. Might just have to create a checklist of things that you want to take care of and knock it off, slowly but surely. But I'm gonna say that rust issue that might be a good priority to start with, and it might kind of sounds like it might be the most expensive on your list. I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of getting breaking into this shit myself too, but
Yeah, I don't
I don't
know
know.
how much the labor is going to cost because the part doesn't look like it's too much. Because one panel looked like it was like 160, maybe $200 for a panel. So for 200
Oh,
panels,
nice.
maybe $400. But at the same time, I don't know how much the labor is going to cost because it's probably going to
Yeah,
involve welding and stuff like that. And
right.
then also, obviously, it's going to have to be painted. I don't know how much paint's going to cost.
Yeah.
So,
Huh. That'd be cool though. That'd be
mhm.
awesome.
I want to say when I had the F-150, um, they had that common problem where, like, right at the end of the cab on the rear, um, that was going to cost about $2,000.
Damn. Wow. Shit's not cheap, man, that's for sure.
Mm-mm.
That's crazy.
But I think with the F-150, I also want to say that's probably because it's an awkward spot to where this one is literally just you can see where it can come off because there's a line, and really it only looks like it might be welded on the inside, but it looks like it's welded on as soon as you open the door, like on that door frame. Other than that, you
Oh,
can
okay.
literally I can see where the panel can come off.
Okay. That's cool. Hell yeah. That might not be too bad, man. That'll be cool though.
Yeah, yeah. What are we gonna do next week?
Um, so I had a thought. I'm gonna kind of gauge your opinion on it, but I kind of started just jamming this band because we had talked about him in the previous episode. But it's kind of a random one. But what about Bleeding Through? What's your thoughts on them?
We can do bleeding through. How many albums do they have? I was listening to them this morning that This Is Love, This Is Murderous album. I forgot how heavy
Oh,
it
okay.
was.
Yeah, yeah, man. They got great tunage, they
Hmm.
really do. Listening back, I'll say there was an album that I kind of got those tough guy lyric vibes again that was relevant to this newest release. But whatever, I mean, it almost seems like they kind of got big on that shit. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention to the lyrics before, and now I'm hyper analytical on it. So But I don't know. I think their music deserves a run through the discography for sure, man, because I was still really liking what I'm hearing musically.
All right, yeah, we can do Bleeding Through.
Hell
Fine with
yeah,
that.
dude. Let's do it.
How many albums do they have? Let me look real quick.
Yeah, I want to say 5 or 6. They got a
I
pretty
want to say
decent amount.
it's not a lot, but it's not like little. Because I want to say they also have long gaps in their albums.
Yeah.
It's 8.
Okay. Yeah, so more than I thought. Oh, wait, I see 7. Oh, no, yeah, the new one. 9. Okay.
Why did they name their 8th album 9?
Yeah.
Is
I don't
Spotify
know.
missing an album? I
Not
wonder.
from my knowledge, but I mean that could be. I wonder if they're including
EP.
a debut EP, maybe.
I'm not seeing an EP either, though. Is the thing.
I don't either. Yeah.
Well, no. What's
Maybe they
going
got
on
their
here?
math wrong. Maybe it's supposed to be called 8.
What if they're doing like the Prince thing and they actually have a bunch of music that's in a vault that no one else will hear of, but they're still counting it in their discography?
Oh,
Oh,
it could be.
bleeding
when they
through
when they come
discography.
out as BT. We don't
They
go
do
by
have
bleeding through
another
anymore.
album that's not on
Oh, really?
Spotify.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Dust to Ashes.
Huh.
So it's Dust to Ashes, Portrait of the Goddess, This is Love, This is Murderous, The Truth, Declaration, Bleeding Through, The Great Fire, Love Will Kill All, and 9.
So it's Dust to Ashes. It's their debut.
Mm-hmm.
01. Okay. You
Which-
may have just said that, and I probably didn't pay attention. But
Yeah, I probably have to go to YouTube for that one.
so I was interested in their member changes. Oh, so it looks like, I don't know. Looks like they ended the band in 2014 and then reformed in 2017. I didn't know that happened, or maybe I forgot about it.
So then when did Love Will Kill... Oh, Love Will Kill All came in 2018. Okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what kind of got me back into them. I heard Set Me Free. I thought that was awesome. So I kind of got back into them for a little bit.
Okay. I don't know if I remember that one. Yeah, this will be fun, man. It'll be cool to
Mhm.
skim through them again.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Do we have anything else we want to add to this week before we start doing plugs?
I don't think so, man. Plug away.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping by and checking us out at Death Metal Daddies. You can check us
Thank
out
you.
even more often on Spotify. You can click like and subscribe. You can even give us a rating. That would help us out a lot. You could also check us out on Facebook. You can also check us out on TikTok and YouTube, which also on YouTube, we have an announcement. We now offer 2 different versions of our episodes on YouTube because I have it synced
Sweet.
with our Spotify. So you can get the video version, or if you just want audio and just want to stare at a picture, or if you just want to, for some reason, listen on YouTube and just put it off to the side somewhere, you can just listen to that one. Yeah, 2 different versions on YouTube now, video and just audio versions. Up to you, whatever you
Man,
want to do. You can
that's
also email
fantastic.
us at deathmetaldaddies@gmail.com. Tell us how we're doing. Tell us what albums you think we should be talking about or what we were wrong about. Hey,
Yes.
maybe you're like, hey, I love Bleeding Through, and their tough guy shit is awesome on
Yeah.
that new album. You guys are fucking morons. You can say that. You can say whatever you want on these, as long as it's not, domestic threats or something like that. Anything about that. But yeah, check us out, connect with us, whatever you want to do. But yeah, until then, Death Metal Daddy's out. See you next week where we cover Bleeding Through.
See you later. This episode brought to you by Deer Duff Insulation Services and Velo nicotine pouches.
Like he was always
Yeah.
talking with people from Skid Row, not the
Yeah.
band, the actual place.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
He's not just having Sebastian Bach.